Today's talk show for your morning drive.
I don't think we're going to see Zach Wheeler again in 2025. That's my guess. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. They're not going to win anything. They got no shot.
There's not a lot of reason to believe Zach Wheeler being gone. He's honestly your number one reason to believe in this team.
Like, this is crushing to me.
Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yes, it is a Friday morning. It's a payday Friday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Johnny, good morning.
All right.
I'm going to chip our mood today.
I'm glad to hear that.
We got Temple Fest today. You and I.
You got to
go to the Leah Course walk.
I love that. Do you know why they call that the Leah Course walk?
I don't know.
Because President Leah Course, during his time as president, when I was a student, he would mark time.
During the Prohibition?
It was during Prohibition, actually, before they had Maxis. He would actually put time in his calendar every day to walk the campus to meet the students.
I love that.
To be able to talk to the students.
That's cool.
And that was one of the reasons that they wanted to have that in his honor.
Oh, I love that. All right.
How about that?
We'll be hanging out there today.
We will be there today at Maxie's 1 to 3 out on Leah Course Walk. We look forward to meeting everybody this afternoon.
And I promise to have at least 10 beers while I'm there.
We're off the clock. Why not?
Exactly. So
I could use them today.
Damn right you can, Johnny. Damn right. I stand with you in solidarity, Johnny.
There we go.
All right, so the Phillies begin a series with the Nationals tonight. And then, of course, they have the big 3-game series next week with the Metropolitans. So there was no game to react to this morning from last night, which is why I want to have a conversation about the manager, John. So Rob Thompson has been a hot-button topic this year, more so than any of the previous seasons. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Like over like a course of an entire season. Like 2022, it was the honeymoon phase.
No question.
And we didn't know.
He did an amazing job in 2022 of taking over what was a mess.
Right. A wretched situation.
Turning it into something great.
And then 23, obviously the slow start.
But he had a great season in 2023.
Great season 23. Great season in 24 until the playoffs happened.
I think second half it was not great.
Sure.
Last year was that team literally ran out of gas. Mentally, that team sleptwalked through half the season.
Right.
Like they get out to the big lead, and I think his leadership led to them putting their feet up. I think he took the approach of, I want these guys rested for the postseason. I think they took the foot off the gas last year way too early. And I'm sure some of that was organizational.
And some of it was of the JT surgery. Remember, Jason Stark said on this station after the surgery, or when the surgery was going to happen, that he could have played through it.
He could have.
But because they had the sizable lead that they had in the National League East, the way they were playing so well, the Phillies said, this is a time where we think JT can get the surgery. We're not going to lose too much ground. We'll be good. I think that was the first part of it. So that's upstairs before we even get to Rob Thompson.
And JT post-surgery compared to JT pre-surgery.
Right, exactly. So today we're going to talk about Topper and how we feel about him. So coming up in the next segment, I put together a short list because, we only have so much time. A short list of the things that I think Rob Thompson is fairly criticized for and unfairly criticized for. Now, this is my list. So John could say, well, hold on a second. I think where you put unfairly, I think is fair.
Right.
Connor could say where you put fair is unfair, right? And this is a show where...
And you have not shared the list.
No, these are...
So we have not... This is not one of those things where I don't know what the list is yet.
Correct. Back of my show sheet, YouTube, I'm the only one that sees this. It's like the Checo's notebook.
I do not know his list yet.
So I'll give those to you coming up in the second segment. But let's start off with just the overall feel for Rob Thompson. And I want people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975 because, John... You know how every once in a while you can tell when a tide is shifting in a fan base?
Yes.
Like, I think we have a pretty good feel on when people are confident, when people don't have confidence, when people like someone, when people don't like somebody. It's pretty clear. Social media is a big part of that. The way people call in or text in or email us when we're talking about certain players or teams, we sort of get that shift. We sense when that shift is happening.
Okay.
And even though Rob Thompson's been kind of a hot-button topic because any head coach or any manager of a major team in Philadelphia would always be a hot-button topic, something happened recently, and I saw it on social media, we had a text on it, and I also got an email about it. So it was like the three horsemen of communication.
There are four horsemen, but we're getting your point. Run with it.
Carrier pigeon is out of date.
Run with it.
Nobody's given me that one in a while. So we have gotten this message over the last 2 or 3 weeks from a couple of people. Well, there is a reason why Rob Thompson was a bench coach for as long as he was before getting the shot with the Phillies. And did
I send you that email?
No, I don't.
Because I believe that.
I don't think that you have.
Okay, I do believe that, though.
All right, well.
Go on.
That was not something that was being said last year, the year before, or 2022. It wasn't.
Okay, I'll raise my hand.
Maybe you were.
I'll raise my hand. I've said it. I've questioned it since the beginning, even though I gave him credit for being very, very good.
Well,
I raised that question all along. I don't think
since
that
the beginning, John. And again, this list is not just directed at John Kincade.
This is
the Philadelphia fan list. So I just wanted to be clear. This is not a personal attack towards you by any means.
No,
but in 2022, that same questioning of the resume, in 2022, there were a lot of people saying, how did no one ever give him a shot? Look at how well he is managing this ball club. The tide is shifting where now it's, no wonder why he never got an opportunity. Look at what we're seeing in front of us. And the weird thing is, what we're seeing in front of us is a team that's 20 games above 500 in the month of August, a team that has gone to a World Series and NLCS, 3 straight playoff appearances, what will be 4 straight playoff appearances. We see all the stats on NBC Sports Philadelphia, fastest manager to X amount of wins since so-and-so, Bobby Cox, I don't know. He's been off to a great start. Right, statistically, he is in the same level of some of the top managers in baseball that we've seen. Now, nobody's comparing him to those managers, but statistically, he fits in some of these categories. So what is your overall feel, John Kincade, when it comes to Rob Thompson? Because I know you always try to say good things about him, but then there are some times where you are very critical of the manager.
I think that Rob Thompson does a lot of things very well. Talking to Rob Thompson's players over the years, I know what they love about him. And the things that they love about him are things that we don't see.
Right.
I've heard words like treats us like men, allows us to go about our business, doesn't micromanage, things like that. And I realize from watching over the years that those are things that are really, really important. They're really, really important to players.
And you could say that a lot of those things is also in response to what Joe Girardi did.
I think so, too. He was also Joe Girardi's right-hand man.
Right, but it's the personality, kind of like a Chip to Doug. Right? Like, Chip was a hard ass, and you want to talk about micromanaging. Chip Kelly's smoothies, the sleep monitoring, whereas Doug Peterson's like, yeah, I like football.
Right.
Like,
let's go get some ice cream.
Let's go eat some ice cream, right? Haagen-Dazs, right? He was a big Haagen-Dazs guy. So I think that is a lot where the players are coming from.
I think so,
also
too.
Have been personal or previous experiences.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things is that what Rob Thompson does well. I'm very critical of Rob Thompson in some ways, and I don't want to get into because I don't want to do anything with your list. But those things, I think that a lot of the things that he does well, I respect a lot because I know that his players respect a lot about him. But I also I've always looked at it as, why does a guy have a career that long in baseball and never be chosen as a manager? I do believe that there's something to that. I think there's something to that.
All right.
There's they know you're there. They know you're there.
Yeah.
And they go, that he's just, there's something about him that he's just not the guy, or that we're going to poach him and make him not the guy. What is that reason?
Same questions surround Kevin Petula.
Correct.
Right? So
yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah, and same type of questions.
All right. So coming up next, I have the Accountability T-chart going for you.
I like the T-charts.
All right. Things that I believe Rob Thompson has been fairly criticized for and then unfairly criticized for. I will give you those next. And then bottom of the hour, Connor, John, react. And, of course, you as well, 610-632-0975. But the overall question, how do you feel about Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies? There are a lot of great results, but there are a lot of head-scratching moments throughout his tenure. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Join the Fanatic for the inaugural live broadcast of Unfiltered with Silvana Kelleher, Ricky Bowe, and Bill Colarulo.
Streaming device, and of course the radio.
Now, back to the show.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
All right, so I have the Chunas T-chart of Rob Thompson when he is fairly and unfairly criticized.
By the way, do you know that I've taken on your T-chart thing now? I've used it probably 3 times for different things.
I love it. I'm pro T-chart.
No, I was never a big T-chart guy, and I've used it, I swear, 3 times since working with you.
I used it when they first asked me, do I want to work with John Kincade?
I want to see the T-chart. Show it to me.
Let me do this T-chart.
I want to see that as much as I want to see DeCecco's notebooks.
My God, was there a lot under the why I should.
There we go. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All
right. You want me to go unfairly or fairly first?
Unfairly.
You want me to go unfairly
first?
Yes,
because I think we're going to probably agree on the fairly.
Yeah, I think so. So here are what I believe are unfairly. All right, and you guys have the bottom of the hour to react to all of it. All right, so let's try to get through this over the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Unfairly, I believe at times when he goes to the bullpen or does not go to the bullpen, we react based off of the results. Obviously, if the result is bad, we react more than when the result is good. And I think there is a lot more to the decisions being made than what is just shown on the surface.
I think you're 100% fair that reactions tend to be in a results-oriented business. Reactions do tend to be on what the result is.
Right.
And sometimes that results in an unfair leverage of the result being what he gets judged on. What I will say to you is this, though. He is not consistent in how he does things when he makes his decisions. He does things one way one week. One night he gives you one explanation. The next night he gives you another for the same type of decisions. And that's where my critique comes from in his handling of like bullpen pulling pictures, things like that. His lack of consistency is one of my number one issues that I've got with Rob Thompson.
All right. I believe the resume has become an unfair criticism. Now, you have kept that. Again, this is not the John Kincade list.
No, it's fair of you to say that because I have used that many times, so it's very fair of you to say that.
It's not directed at you. It's the people that have all of a sudden started saying it when they weren't saying it 2-3 years ago.
I will contest to you that I think many people heard say it. And I even there were writers in this town who wrote it saying, you do wonder why a lifelonger didn't get his shot. It doesn't mean that a guy's not going to be good. Jack McKeon in Florida, when he won, and he got his chance older, if I'm not mistaken, in San Diego and there. Brian Snicker in Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who wait 30 years, something like that, to get chances.
Lineup, and I put sometimes. And the reason why I put sometimes is, again, lineup is just a big umbrella term. He is Nick Sirianni. And why I say that is, let's face it, Howie Roseman's calling majority of the shots for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Dave Dombrowski is calling majority of the shots for the Philadelphia Phillies. Rob Thompson manages the team. But we now know Jason Stark has reported that the 2023 playoffs, a lot of the decisions were made by upstairs. I mean, Jason Stark's saying it.
No, Jason has reported that on this station and in print in The Athletic.
So I put lineup sometimes.
So you don't give him the blame for that, and I think that's fair of you to give him the benefit of the doubt.
And again, we're on top of information. It's like the Alvarado thing. We were talking about this yesterday. I had people tweet at me saying they did not know he was ineligible for the playoffs after the fact of the standing ovation.
Correct.
2024 playoffs, period. People blame him for last year.
I would have done in his defense, I would have done the same bullpen moves that people rip him for.
Yeah.
I would have done them, including going back to Hoffman and him getting trashed again.
He's the guy you trusted all season long.
I don't know what the alternatives were.
Yeah.
So to me, that is not fair.
Yeah.
Like that to me is an unfair. I'll defend Rob on that one.
Now maybe this one is more toward you because I talk to you every day a lot.
Okay.
Comments in press conferences. Now I agree because one of the fairly critiques I have is the saying one thing and doing the opposite. But like the Jordan Romano thing the other day where you were a little upset with how he handled it. I don't know how else you wanted him to handle it. You explained yourself how you wanted him to handle it.
By the way, was there anything about my explanation that if my words had come out of Rob Thompson's mouth, that would have been that you couldn't have heard him saying those exact words?
No, I don't think it was unfair the way you went about it.
So he didn't have to say it the way he said it.
Sure.
He could have said the same thing and been critical.
I just wonder.
He told us the sky's blue when it isn't.
It's just never. I don't think it's ever going to change. And maybe I'm in that mentality of I know this is what he's going to say.
So why defend it? That's why I would ask you is why defend it? Why
World
accept
Series
it?
appearance, NLCS appearance.
It's declining. The returns are declining.
We don't know about this year yet.
Well, I know we don't. But,
No.
I mean, it is declining. It's been stepping down.
Okay.
I don't understand why you would accept that. Because in any other line of business, you wouldn't accept it.
Sure.
You wouldn't accept it from a CEO. You wouldn't accept it from a leader of a business. You wouldn't accept it from a leader of a radio station.
But he's a leader of men, John.
Come on now, give me a break.
All right, then fairly.
And you wouldn't accept it from a general.
Fairly criticized. Lack of urgency. Accountability. Saying one thing and doing the opposite. And feel. He used to have the feel of every decision was right. He's been off at times this year. And that goes to the bullpen thing. But
It might be personnel, though.
It could be.
I think some of the feel thing may be the roster they gave him.
Now, coming up next, I want your guys' reaction to it. I also want texters and callers at 610-632-0975. What I believe Rob Thompson is fairly criticized for versus what he's unfairly criticized for. And I just want to expand a little bit on the lack of urgency / accountability one next before you guys give your overall reaction. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles' final dress rehearsal. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are taking on the Jets in their final preseason game tonight at MetLife Stadium, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And the Birds got some bad news on the wide receiver room yesterday as it was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery after a knee and ankle injury earlier this week. Luckily, the Eagles recently added to the wide receiver room with the trade of John Mechie III. We talked to Adam Schefter about that earlier in the week.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice.
So at least they did add to that room recently. We're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day. It's Tuesday the 26th, so we'll keep you updated on all the Birds roster news. The Phils were off last night. They welcome the Nationals to the bank tonight for 3 games. First pitch is at 6:45. Taijuan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. The Union take on Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk to Kevin Nagandi of ESPN coming up at 8:55. NFL insider Jordan Schultz at 9:10. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Join the Fanatic for the inaugural live broadcast of Unfiltered.
It's a Rob Thompson show. I saw one of our YouTube commenters this morning saying, wow, Rob Thompson hating on Rob this early. And that was from Jay Blaze 215. And then Chris Miller responds with, I don't think anyone's hating.
What's hating on?
Just pointing out flaws, likes and dislikes. I'm not Thompson's biggest fan myself. I think he is loyal to some of a fault and just clueless at times, like no feel for the game. So
I don't understand what people listen to. Like there was a positive said for every negative, and also too for every negative every negative gets contested. So
and look, because everybody has their opinion, right?
Correct.
And like when it comes to this discussion, which is why I really want Phillies fans to be a part of this at 610-632-0975 text line, phone line, YouTube as well. Shout out YouTube. I want people to respond to this discussion about Rob Thompson and how you feel about him as manager of the Phillies, because I think I lean more towards like I believe in Rob Thompson. I think you lean more toward you question a lot of his strategic decisions.
I think he's better than the last manager we had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, that's something.
And I think we all agree that if they fall well short of the goal, that they might need to make a change. Now, one of the things that I put under the fairly criticized tab was the lack of urgency and the accountability. So that could be twofold. So last year, I think we all were kind of in favor, if I'm not mistaken, of the Phillies deciding to bench Alec Boehm in the playoffs because of the mentality.
And Jason has alluded to it. I know that from what I've spoken to, alluded to it, that came from that did not come from upstairs.
Right, that came from within the locker room.
That came from within the locker room, and Rob Thompson made that call.
Yeah, I was not in favor of it.
Right, I got you, because it's a playoff game. Why would you do that?
And
Not that, because of inconsistency of the way he had handled the team all year, which is part of the fair or unfair that we've been talking about.
And that's why I put lack of urgency / accountability under the fairly criticized tab.
And they played him if I'm not mistaken, they put him in the fourth or fifth inning of that game.
He ended up playing, yes.
In the fourth or fifth inning of that game.
But if this was a problem throughout the year, which it was, remember the Royals game when the Phillies were up 10 and Boehm was the only guy not happy? Like, that could have been the moment where you sat him the next day.
He said, we can't have this.
You did it in a playoff game, which I wasn't totally against, because it's not like Boehm was providing you anything anyway, and you needed to be, in a 5-game series, you need to have urgency, which he showed it in that playoff series. But to Connor's point, it goes against what Rob Thompson is about. And so that inconsistency, lack of urgency / accountability, he made the right move to take Nick Castellanos out of that 7th inning of that baseball game against the Marlins. I believe he made the right decision to suspend him the following game and say, screw your consecutive game streak. You can't disrespect the manager. But then he has never gone back to it.
Yeah, because he got scared of Nick Castellanos.
And that's a problem.
He got scared
and that's something that I believe is fairly criticized of Rob Thompson.
He didn't like the fallout. He didn't like the pressure that it caused. And obviously, whatever pressure he got from Nick, he didn't like. Now, I can understand that, too. Maybe it was an uncomfortable thing. What's very obvious is, and if you saw the quotes from Nick Castellanos this week, their relationship is not great.
It's not buddy-buddy.
No, It's not great.
It's manager-player.
That doesn't mean, and he says he's the manager, and there's a certain level of respect there.
Yeah.
I think was the quote.
Sure.
In other words, I'm not going to be a D to him because he's the boss.
Right.
And that's it. I'm not going to voice any other level of support for him.
Right, absolutely. So what did you guys make of the overall list? Again, unfairly, in my opinion, and you guys can have your opinion, calls the bullpen, the resume, lineup sometimes, because I do believe upstairs has a lot of power. 2024 playoffs, catching heat for that. Comments and pressers.
I think your list was fair.
Fairly criticized, lack of urgency, accountability, saying one thing, doing the opposite, and this year specifically, the feel.
I don't agree with some of your reasoning,
of course,
but I don't think your list is unfair.
Okay.
Like I disagree with some of your list's nuance, but I don't disagree with your list. I think your list is pretty fair. Connor?
The one thing that I would flip is the saying one thing and doing another. I think we get too caught up in that with him sometimes because he is not the end-all be-all with the Phillies, as we've established. So he's trying at points, I get the feeling, to do his best to not say anything that's going to tick off the locker room and not say anything that's going to rile up the fan base. And he tries to thread a needle that he can't possibly fit. And sometimes he just gets handcuffed by the decisions that he does not have.
Yeah, but to say, like, literally before the season started, one of the prime examples that we've talked about a lot is that Brandon Marsh was going to be the everyday starting center fielder for an extended period of time so that we could figure out, could he actually be the guy? And that was Rob Thompson's decision.
It was.
It was Rob Thompson's comments. And then 4 days into the season, Johan Rojas is starting in center field, and it was not due to rest.
The problem I got, Connor, with it is that I can point to numerous examples in baseball, whether it be Bruce Bochy, one of the most respected managers in the game, would you say?
Yeah, oh yeah. What he did in San Francisco,
Bruce Bochy,
now in Texas,
what do you have, 4 titles? He's got 4 titles now.
Yeah.
One of the most respected guys in the game. Bruce Bochy can sit after a game and tell you, that was a bullcrap effort tonight by our team. And everybody played like their heads were up their backsides. And I didn't like the effort tonight.
Now, he could also...
I didn't like... And he can say, this is not normal out of this player. He had a really bad game tonight. But you know what? He's come through with us in some big times, so I'm going to stand by him.
Yeah.
But that was really bad. Bruce Bochy can go to a press conference and tell you exactly what he feels.
Right, but that's the accountability
He
part
can
of
also
it.
put his hand on the table and show 4 World Series.
No, but he did
Exactly.
that. But here's where I'm going to get you.
He was doing
and
it
it's
before.
not. He did it beforehand. Okay. And there are managers in baseball history, a litany of them.
Now let me
that'll
ask you
do.
something.
Terry Francona, before he ever won a World Series, ever won one, Terry Francona could say, "Boys, that was crap tonight. That was terrible."
Right, but that's not what I'm saying. That's accountability of holding your team to the standard, which is something different, which I'm not debating.
That's why we never see this team improve, though, under Rob Thompson on the things they do poorly.
Yeah, but I'm not arguing that point. I'm saying that saying one thing and then doing something differently, I think comes from not miscommunication, but not necessarily being on the same page as the guy who actually holds the power with this team. And I think he gets hung out to dry sometimes. And because we hear from Thompson daily and Dombrowski bi-monthly or whatever, like, we point more towards Thompson when the decisions are not necessarily his.
That could be. That could be. But we have to assume then that he doesn't agree with Dombrowski.
I'm sure there are times they disagree.
I'm sure there are, but you can't. But we can't assume the times that they don't.
No,
I mean,
I know.
I agree with you. There are probably. I believe that has happened.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's perfect.
Do I believe it happens all the time? Nah. I believe Rob's in on a lot of the decisions that are made.
All right, I'll also ask you this. You mentioned the Bochy. He was doing it before he won.
Francona.
And Francona.
Right, things like that.
How much is that the generational swing?
Well, wait a minute. He's older than.
No.
He's as old, but he's.
Yeah, but he just started managing a couple of years ago. What I'm saying is, like, now that those guys have built up resumes as managers in Major League Baseball,
Okay.
right, and multi-time World Series managers, they have a little bit of cachet. Whereas a new manager with today's generation, they are definitely softer.
Okay, so do you
All
want
the young managers are softer too.
So do you want him to do? Okay, this is his one job. Do you want him to do it softer, or do you want him to do it the way he knows?
Oh, you know me.
it should be done?
I'm fine with the hard ass.
I don't want him to be. But the thing is, though, it doesn't have to be. This player sucked tonight. Right. This guy sucked. He's terrible. You can be supportive of a player, but you can sit there in a post-game press conference and say, "This team runs the bases terribly. I need my best player to hustle down the first baseline." You'll never hear that from Rob Thompson.
All right, coming up next, we want to hear from you. It's 610-632-0975. The YouTube chat is buzzing this morning. You can watch the show on YouTube. Just search Kincade Salciunas or search 97.5 The Fanatic. Be a part of that YouTube community. We can see your comments and live in action. But, of course, you can also text in, call in 610-632-0975. How do you feel about Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies? What is he fairly criticized for? What is he unfairly criticized for? It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
I'm holding out hope that Aaron Nola returns to the guy.
975thefanatic.com.
It is 6:42 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So how do you feel about Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies? And it's just an odd time because this Phillies team, when you just sit back and look, you see that they are 21 games over 500, 74-53. It's been a roller coaster ride of a season. They have taken a step back in each of the playoffs the last couple of years. When that happens and people start worrying about the future, much like I have a lot of times this year, saying that this is the last year of this core, right? Even though you might have to bring back JT, you obviously have to bring back Kyle Schwarber, but there will be new faces next year, and I think a lot of the players that are here this year might be on the way out. I mean, they have tried to trade Nick Castellanos for many years now.
Do you agree with this plan, by the way? Like this plan that we sort of assume is going to happen? Like, are you of the belief that if this team goes out in the NLDS, do you want to see like a wholesale remodel?
Yeah, I do. Like, I want to see Schwarber back. Obviously.
Okay, what if they go back out in the NLCS? How much does each win change for you?
I think I got to see how the round plays out.
Okay.
Like, if an entire lineup goes cold again, right? Because this lineup is a boomer bust. Right. If one of my biggest problems with this baseball team is the construction of the lineup. Now, I like it a lot more when Kyle Schwarber's not batting leadoff, right? Like, I like it a lot more when he's batting 2 or the days where they have him in the middle of the order. But there is a lot of boomer busts, and when guys go cold, it seems like this entire team goes cold. And that's why they lost the 2022 World Series. That's why they lost the 2023 NLCS. That's why they lost last year to the Mets in the NLDS. It's just the entire lineup goes cold at the same time. It's uncanny. Like, when a whole lineup goes ice cold, it's unbelievable.
And to me, that's more or less skill. That's more makeup of the players that you got in your. That's more where maybe we don't have the right guys.
Right. And
that happens.
And that's why, again, people that blame Rob Thompson for the 2024
debacle, I would have done the same. That Mets series, you've never once heard me go, boy, Thompson really blew it that series.
Right.
And I am a Rob Thompson. I tend to be critical of Rob Thompson. Never heard me doing that. No, not on that one.
Right.
I would have done the same bullpen moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Hoffman, Estevez.
I was like
bringing in Estevez to face Lindor with the bases loaded.
They were the guys that were brought here to do it and didn't get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you can text in 610-632-0975. YouTube chat buzzing, as I mentioned. Our man MBD checks in about Rob Thompson. He said, I don't need my manager or coach to be critical of his players individually. They are people managers after all. I don't need Nick to tell me that Bryce Huff stinks. I have the eyes to see that.
You don't have to say that they stink.
He then continues and says, if Topper had the Dodgers roster, would he be the guy to take them all the way? He's wondering if Dave Roberts is like a savant just because they won the World Series last year. I don't know. I think Dave Roberts is a good manager.
Dave Roberts is a good manager, but Dave Roberts has been highly criticized over the years. He's been highly criticized and I think in some ways has sort of underachieved.
Sure. I mean, they've fallen short until last year.
They fell short with some really good teams, but it works that way.
All right, what do we got on the text line?
Joe in media checks in. He says there are very few managers in baseball who don't face criticism, and it's often warranted. But I doubt anyone would disagree that Rob Thompson has been the best manager out of our last 4. One thing I find interesting.
Let's do that.
It's
Girardi. Okay.
Girardi,
Kapler, and McCann.
And Sandberg.
He has absolutely been the best manager out of those. If anybody argues that, they're just arguing.
Right. The texter continues and says, one thing I find interesting is the Phillies have enjoyed the most success when they have had quote-unquote player managers, thinking back to Charlie Manuel's time.
No. Because Charlie Manuel would call guys. Charlie Manuel would
he would hold guys accountable.
Charlie Manuel's nothing like Rob Thompson. Charlie Manuel like called out players.
And this is when I bring up the generational thing.
What is going on here?
What's interesting? I saw a Chris Rose.
Yes,
he has his baseball podcast, and they did an episode recently. It's funny actually. It probably popped up because of our conversation the other day when you were upset with the way Rob Thompson spoke about Jordan Romano and his pregame media availability. Maybe the computer thought that this makes sense. Let's get this on your algorithm. Basically, Chris Rose, they played a clip from one of Dave Roberts. How about that? We were just talking about Dave Roberts and his press conference. Teoscar Hernandez made a bad attempt on a ball in right field the other day. He just missed it, right? And Dave Roberts said he needs to be better out there. And then he paused and then he said, "We need to be better out there." And Chris Rose said, "Hey, was that a bad thing that Dave Roberts called out Teoscar Hernandez specifically?" And I don't know who his co-host is. I apologize, but he used to play in Major League Baseball. And he said, yeah, he probably could have handled that differently. Even though he didn't say anything egregious about Hernandez.
It still was.
But he called him out specifically. And so, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the right thing to do is.
Well, I mean, I can tell you is that Rob Thompson and Charlie Manuel was beloved by his players, but Jimmy Rollins will tell you. Talk to Jimmy Rollins.
Sure.
Like, he'd shoot players' asses out. Like he'd kick your ass if you didn't do the right things, and he didn't care, and he did it, and he shared it with the media too. If he didn't like it, he pulled Jimmy out of a game, like he literally he didn't care about that. And by the way, when the Phillies' success, Phillies won their only World Series before that with Dallas Green. Dallas Green threatened to get into fistfights with his players.
Right.
That's not Players
it was also 1980.
But players' managers have not been the most successful with the Phillies. We have 2 World Series, and the 2 World Series championships were when we had guys that would literally bow up and be like, that crap is not going on here.
Well, let me ask you. Isn't like almost every manager a player's manager these days?
Yeah.
Like name me the hard-ass manager in baseball.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. People will think it of Tocchet. Like Tocchet with the Flyers. They bring in Tocchet. Tocchet understands the modern player. Tocchet's not kumbaya.
No, but that's a different sport.
But I
I'm talking about baseball.
No, but I understand is that I think modern fans want the kumbaya manager or the kumbaya coach.
I don't need that. I don't care.
So,
all right, coming up next, we'll reset this topic. We'll hear more from you at 610-632-0975. Also, to start the 7 o'clock hour, we got Eagles talk. Is there something in between preseason football and regular season football? Some may call it Howie season. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles take on the Jets. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Birds will match up with the Jets up at MetLife tonight. It's their final preseason game, a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And the Eagles got some rough injury news in the wide receiver room yesterday as it was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery after a knee and ankle injury earlier this week. Luckily for the Eagles, they recently added to the wide receiver room with the trade of John Mechie III, or the trade for, I should say. We talked to Adam Schefter about it on Wednesday.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice.
And that's why you add to the depth. So we'll see how that all plays out as we're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day, which is Tuesday the 26th. We'll see who makes the team and who does not. The Phillies were off last night. They welcomed the Nationals to Citizens Bank Park for 3 games starting tonight. First pitch for game 1 is 6:45 this evening. Taijuan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. The Union take on Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk to Kevin Nagandi of ESPN coming up at 8:55. NFL insider Jordan Schultz at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame sports writer Jason Stark.
This has been a
975thefanatic.com.
It's 6:56 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. My wife just had a beautifully sad moment.
A beautifully sad moment?
Yes. So Coop got dropped off at daycare today. She's working, and obviously I'm here. One Bala Plaza.
Okay.
And Coop saw one of his buddies when she was dropping him off.
Okay, what's the sad moment about that? That's always fun.
The beautiful moment is he has a buddy that he ran to and was like, "Oh, you're here."
He's got one more friend than dad already.
Damn right.
Okay, that's the coolest thing in the
But
world
the
when you see
sad
your
moment
kid.
is it's the first time where he was just like, "Bye, Mom."
Oh, that's the best.
Instead of like, let me go give you a big hug goodbye or be sad that you're dropping me off, it was, "Bye, Mom."
Wait till the first day of school.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because we will always tell the story that Liv, the first day of school, we walked to school. So she's doing pre-K 3.
Yeah.
And we walk her to school, and she starts going up we take her to the thing, and the teachers are there to walk them in.
Sure, yeah.
And she literally just
See you guys.
took the teacher's hand and didn't say goodbye and walks up the stairs. And they go, "Olivia, say goodbye to your parents." And she turns around and goes, "Bye."
And you're just like,
And no, it's the best thing. It's the best thing in the world,
Oh,
though.
no, it's great,
when your
yeah.
kid doesn't do the when the
Right.
kid enjoys school and enjoys seeing their buddies. That's the best thing in the world. That's
Hell
awesome
yeah.
for Coop.
That was a great,
awesome for Coop.
great, happy, sad moment this morning.
That's an awesome thing for Mom.
All right, Rob Thompson. How do you feel about Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies? We want to hear more from you at 610-632-0975. So let's check our text line. We also have YouTube commenters going crazy this morning, which I appreciate. Like, we're all over the place when it comes to Rob Thompson. I'm just trying to have like a logical conversation about it. What is he fairly criticized for? What is he unfairly criticized for? And we may have different answers on it.
Sure, and
But I just need people to realize that sometimes he is unfairly criticized, and I think there are also people that need to realize he does do things wrong. Like, you always bring up Kevin Cooney. And
Yes.
Kevin might be driving to school right now, so good morning to
He
Kevin
may be
Cooney.
getting
Like,
his classroom ready or whatever.
there are some people that would almost get upset anytime people are critical of Rob Thompson.
Because there's the people who then take a stance of, well, you criticize him too much. And by the way, they also may have a point.
Sure.
On some of the times that he's criticized too much, and then they start defending him on stupid stuff. Like the other night when he had the infield in on bases loaded with one out.
Yeah, that was a
in
horrible
2-1 game.
managerial
a stupid decision that didn't come from upstairs.
Yeah.
It didn't come. Stupid decision cost them a game. And then you have people defend it.
Right.
That's where it gets nuts, because then it's like, well, I'm a Rob Thompson defender, so I'm going to defend everything he does.
Right.
That doesn't mean, though, that when Kevin says sometimes you're too critical of him, that he's not right.
Sure.
Like, because sometimes it is. You know, sometimes look, I can admit that.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
Mike from Turnersville checks in, says, I don't think Thompson is getting enough credit on how he handled Walker, Marsh, Realmuto, Weston Wilson, Kepler, Stott, etc. In many organizations, other teams would have given up on them or created an environment that would have not let them rebound. All of those players this year went through a lot of adversity, and all of them are now contributing.
Look, I'll give Rob Thompson a lot of credit for being the man that he is when it came to the Taijuan Walker situation. When Taijuan Walker was it 23?
Yes.
2023, after the season comes to an end against the Diamondbacks, and he's on social media. This is when liking was still public on Twitter.
Shout out Doc Rivers.
Liking.
They don't do that anymore?
No,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
So you can start liking all your porn again. When Taijuan Walker was liking tweets critical of Rob Thompson, Topper could have been like, screw you, dude. You sucked. Why would I put you on the roster? Instead, he sat down with Walker. They hashed things out.
See, that's that's a great way of going about it.
Yeah, like I give Rob Thompson a lot of credit.
Because a lot of times you'd be like,
screw you.
Yeah, screw you, dude. Why, like, you're publicly throwing me under the bus? I'll publicly throw you right back.
Right, exactly.
You know?
All right.
Sometimes being the good soldier, though, doesn't get you. Like,
like the Nick Castellanos situation. You're right. And that is something that I think he's fairly criticized for. When you pull Nick Castellanos for the right baseball decision.
And you make the argument as to why it had to be done and why you thought it should be done, and then you don't have the guts
He's never
to do
done it again. He's never done it again.
That's bad.
It's weird.
That's bad.
All right, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. 8 Beasley, Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Good day. Payday.
It is a good day.
Good day.
It is a good day. Hope it's a payday for everybody.
I hope so as well. All right, so Connor.
Hello.
I don't know why I'm talking to you.
Okay. How are you doing today, buddy?
I just had a brain fart. Eagles. Is there a season between the preseason and regular season? The Eagles have their final preseason game tonight against the Jets. I'm sure a lot of people are just marking that into their calendars, setting your alarm clocks to be sat down, ready to go for Eagles-Jets preseason week number 3. And then it's over. Thank God.
I'm watching on DVR.
Sure.
Like I'm going out to dinner tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going down the borough, going to go to dinner, and then I'll come home and I'll pick it up and I'll fast forward commercials and everything like that. Ross Tucker, I think, does an amazing job on
he's great.
The analyst job, and I'll pick up stories from Ross.
Sure.
That he tells about this guy during camp and this guy during camp. It's really a good listen. But other than that,
this is not a game to change your plans.
I'm half-ass watching.
This is not a game to change your plans. And then it's over. Preseason football's over, and then we get ready for week 1 when the Eagles play the Cowboys on September 4th. Thursday, September 4th is when they open up the season.
13.
Now, you have been mentioning this multiple times, to your credit, and there have been reporters that have backed up your belief.
We heard it from Schefter.
That maybe Howie Roseman is not done yet. Here was Adam Schefter with us earlier in the week. We played a couple of clips for you yesterday. We did not play this one. Here was Schefter sort of talking about, it was in response to the John Mechie trade when the Eagles acquired Mechie, which, by the way, real quick, sorry to sidetrack. Do people not realize that Johnny Wilson got hurt after the Mechie trade?
What do you mean?
I saw on social media yesterday, first and foremost, hearts go out to Johnny Wilson. That sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
His sophomore season ends in training camp, had to get carted off the field of practice the other day. And he's a big part of their run game from a blocking standpoint, the length that he has, the body that he has.
Sure.
And for the person, that sucks.
He was considered sort of, in a lot of what he did, sort of selfless.
Yeah, and by the way, he was getting praised by his coaching staff. He got hurt after the John Mechie trade. I saw on social media yesterday, now this makes more sense why they traded for Mechie. It happened before the injury. I digress.
Okay.
Here is Adam Schefter reacting to the Mechie trade, but take a listen to some of the other things he said.
I think that's exactly what it was. You got a team in the Eagles that has 13 draft picks. I think it's 13 in 2026. So they've got more picks than they actually need. They're loaded up to bear. And we know that they're always looking. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice. We're not even going to wind up giving a pick. And they made that trade. I think they'll look to make more trades this weekend. I'm not saying they will, but they're definitely going to be looking to make more trades this weekend.
Ooh, I like that.
They have all these picks. And again, now I don't want you to get your hopes up. It's not like they're trading for Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson.
Right.
You know, I don't expect that to happen. But they're going to be looking. I mean, but by the way, every team's looking. It's not unique to them. They just have a way of getting these things done and finding a way to make it happen. So if they can make another trade or two this weekend, it wouldn't surprise me.
And you have been saying that for weeks now, John.
And it's and from talking to NFL analysts, talking to people saying that, like, sort of tipped me off, going they're not. There's tea leaves out there and smoke signals that they're not pleased with potentially with what they got. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm excited to see it because I do believe with the salary cap flexibility that there is now, you're going to see veterans that are out there that are attractive. And potentially the Eagles can make a move. We'll see what happens.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. In a little bit, we're going to talk about if you had your choice. And obviously not the player because we don't know who's available.
Who knows? And there are going to be names that we don't believe are
right, John
available.
Mechie came out of nowhere, right? Like,
right.
Oh, wow, look at this trade that they made. What position you'd want to see the Eagles upgrade the most if you think that they can upgrade it? We'll do that coming up in a little bit. But Philly's still on the table, obviously. Let's go to our man Bob in Vermont. What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Hey, guys, great show. I just want to talk about our seventh inning guys. I think we need a seventh inning guy because with the 1-2 punch of Alvarado being back and now with our closer, Duran, I think we have a 1-2 punch, but now I think we need like a 7th inning guy.
All right, hold on. So let me make this clear. Are you talking about regular season or the playoffs?
Both.
Do you know that Jose Alvarado is not eligible for the playoffs?
Oh, he's not okay. Yeah, I thought he would be okay.
Yeah, see, and we appreciate the call, Bob. This is what I meant the other day. I think there are a lot of people that have been attacking on social media. Oh, typical Philly media hates the standing ovation. I think there's a lot of people that don't know he's ineligible for the playoffs.
That don't realize that his actions have screwed over every one of his teammates.
Like, you heard that right there. Now that Alvarado is back, you have your 1-2 punch. We need a 7th inning guy for the playoffs.
No, you don't. No, you don't have your 1-2 punch.
Jose Alvarado is not eligible for the playoffs. That is something that I think has gone sort of under the radar in terms of our discussion yesterday. I read you the tweet that I got.
Sure.
The guy had no idea. I wonder how many people have no idea that Jose Alvarado, just because he's back from his suspension, doesn't mean he's eligible for the playoffs. That's why, I don't get, the amount of people that were so furious that God forbid, me or John said, wow, why are you guys applauding this dude? I think a lot of people don't know, John.
They don't. Because it is sort of
it's a weird rule.
Jackassery system where we let somebody back from a suspension, then we put them back on suspension.
Yeah.
I think it's deserved that it is that way, though.
Right, absolutely. If anything, just do it until the following season. If it happens game 1, you're suspended 161 games and the playoffs.
Absolutely.
If it happens game 161, you're suspended 1 regular season game and the playoffs.
Correct.
I think that's how it should be.
I think so, too.
But look,
it just shows
there's
you a
another
perfect
example of a guy that did not know.
Does not know. A lot of people.
All right, coming up next. If you had your choice, where would you want to see the Eagles upgrade the most when it comes to maybe cut down day and maybe players that could be available via trade? We'll do that next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
They're trying to get a man in Sealy. It's a breakaway.
For new users, got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
7:12 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm serious. I wish we could put out like a Twitter poll where people would be honest, which I doubt that they would be. They would lie to themselves.
Why don't you put out a poll, Connor, is how honest are you on Twitter polls?
I wonder how many people don't know that Jose Alvarado is ineligible for the playoffs.
It's not a.
It might be like 15% or 10% or 5%.
I think it's more.
But there are people.
I think it's more.
And
I'd say 1 out of 4.
And like that's a prime example. Our caller just now. Now another tweet that I just want to read before we get to this Eagles thing. There was a guy that quote tweeted my tweet the other day, and you responded to it.
What one was that?
His name's Zach, Philly kid 08. So I wonder if he was born in 08. That means he would be 17 years old.
What a lucky young man, eh?
He responded to my tweet about Jose Alvarado, my confusion as to why he got a standing ovation.
Okay.
He took off-brand Ozempic. It's not like he took steroids.
Oh, I did respond to that one.
It sucks what happened, yes, but let's stop acting like he was out there trying to cheat. Who knows?
First of all,
don't know that.
And I flat out said you have misinformation.
Yeah,
that's misinformation. That is absolute I don't know where he got his misinformation.
But he's not the only person saying that. There's so many people that have said it.
I don't know where he got his misinformation, but if you keep spreading the same misinformation, it doesn't make it right.
Right.
That is not true. That is not what happens. And by the way, he doesn't have to take off-brand Ozempic. He didn't have to take off-brand weight loss medicine because he was already fat. He was already a hefty lefty. I mean, that's what he is. If he wanted to lose weight, all he had
you went all in with the F word there.
No, but I mean,
he did call himself a fat boy.
He did. But all he had to do was just say, if he's under a doctor's care, a doctor could write him a prescription for it, and he could take it.
Yeah.
He didn't have to take Bobo brand Ozempic or anything like that. He didn't. He took something that was trying to enhance him. Stop.
Unbelievable.
Stop with that. And stop buying into this nonsense.
I don't know where people are coming from with this. As
Come
if they know.
on.
All right. If the Eagles could upgrade at a position in Howie's season, which is this little gap between the preseason and the regular season, what position would you want it to be? Now, I saw a couple of comments on YouTube about how JM said there's nothing Howie can do right now that fixes the problem. Like, you can't just plug in a player last minute. I completely agree.
Okay.
But a move between now and the start of the regular season might not be for week 1. Like we saw literally last year, Cooper DeJean was not your starter because he was injured throughout camp, and it was going to take some time before he could get on the field. And then we saw what ended up happening once he had time to sit through the meeting rooms, watch the film studies, and then all of a sudden he's your starting slot corner, and we saw what he was able to do after that. Patrick Robinson was a late addition to the Eagles the year they won the Super Bowl 2017-18
he was,
season.
Like August 31st or something?
Yeah, he was a
really
late addition. And then all of a sudden he helps you win a Super Bowl and has one of the biggest plays in Eagles franchise history with the pick 6 in the NFC Championship game, right? Like, Patrick Robinson had a decent season that year, but the moment we remember him most for was the NFC title game. That's in January. That's way past the start of the season.
And I believe any move that Howie's going to make is going to be hopefully something that adds to the depth.
Correct.
That again comes together where we go,
So what position would you want them to target?
Offensive line.
Yeah, that's your biggest worry right now.
And now that I heard, and look, the respect I have for Andrew Pacheco is strong. And I heard Pacheco say it, even though he won't let me glance at his notebook and see the real notes on it. But when I heard Andrew Pacheco express his sort of anxiety a little bit about it, about the backup offensive linemen don't look strong. And so I would like to see them. If we have an offensive line coach who knows talent, they know names that are out there. Go find me one. Get me somebody quick.
Sure.
Get me somebody.
Connor, is there a position for you that you would like to see the Eagles target? Again, we don't have names.
Yeah, I'd like to see safety, honestly. Because
is that because you want to move Cooper?
No, not necessarily. It's just that at corner you already brought somebody in Jacorian Bennett. You have 2 guys. That feels like a more diverse competition than safety, where Makuba's been injury prone through camp, and Sidney Brown, we know his limitations. So that feels like one that could use the most juice. I agree with you on the offensive line thing. I just think whoever you bring in at O-line would be further away from potentially starting than somebody you could bring in at safety. So that's why I looked there first. By the way, the Patrick Robinson signing, he was signed in March.
March?
Oh, it was March.
Because remember, he had a bad camp.
He had the camp. Right.
I remember his camp.
And he almost got cut, right?
Yeah.
He had a comment during his camp wherein he said something like, it was like 1 or 2 weeks before the season started. He said he's only at like 70%.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not good. He's your starting slot corner.
This guy's going to stink.
I'm going to go edge rusher. That's one of my concerns.
Okay, interesting on this one.
I just don't know who Ojulari and Uche are. Like, I don't know. And I won't know until I see it. And I can bring in an edge rusher that can take his time to figure out the system a little bit because it is more complex. They have their edge rushers drop back into coverage at times. If there is an available body that you could feel comfortable on the field for 20% of the snaps, right? We're not asking for an edge rusher that's going to – I'm not saying Trey Hendrickson. Right, I'm asking for a veteran edge rusher that might be available.
Are you concerned by stuff that you've read, stuff that you've heard?
Well, Ojulari didn't really make any impact until the second preseason game.
He certainly hasn't. That is
correct.
correct.
So that's one of your key rotational edge rushers right now. And I've been consistent with my not willing to totally buy into the Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt experience just yet. I'm just not. Like, Nolan Smith didn't really come to form till late. Jalix Hunt didn't come to form till the playoffs. Was that a hot run? Or is that who they are?
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know.
I'm just in the Fangio we trust territory right now. Because that's kind of what we have at this point.
Okay. So, curious where you would like to see the Eagles sort of target a position to add to the depth before the season starts on September 4th. You can text in, call in 610-632-0975. Coming up next, rule changes are coming to the NFL. One that benefits an Eagle, another that will drive us all crazy. And speaking of positions you'd like to see upgrade, maybe receiver. Say that half jokingly. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Final preseason game day. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are facing the Jets tonight in their final preseason game. MetLife Stadium, the setting, 7:30 p.m. the kickoff time. And the Birds are trying to figure out the rest of their roster situation. They got bad news in the wide receiver room yesterday. It was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery after a knee and ankle injury earlier this week. Lucky for the Eagles, they recently added to that wide receiver room with the trade for John Mechie III. We talked to Adam Schefter about it earlier in the week.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what? Let's roll the dice.
And that, folks, is why depth is important. Speaking of depth, we're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day. It's Tuesday the 26th, so we'll keep you updated on what the Birds are doing roster-wise. The Phillies were off last night. They'll play the Nationals, starting 3-game series at the Bank tonight. First pitch is at 6:45. Taijuan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. The Union take on Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk to Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 8:55. Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider, at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni.
All your confidence of things grow in practice.
Kyle Kuzma is now a member of the podcast world. And he had a guest. Yao Ming was on the podcast.
Yao Ming was on? Like, I don't, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what he does. Is he the ambassador or the head of basketball for?
Who, Yao Ming? I know he's a part of it.
Like the commissioner or something?
He's a big part of it. I remember that was a part of his Hall of Fame speech as well.
Supposedly a tremendous dude, supposedly.
Kyle Kuzma asked him, "What's your favorite city in the United States?" Like you're coming from overseas.
Okay.
Brand new world. What's your favorite city? Philadelphia was his answer.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Kyle Kuzma immediately goes, "Really? Why?" Cheesesteak. That was his answer. And then he continued and said he loves the museums in Philadelphia. He loves the history of Philadelphia. He went. Apparently, he would go to the Navy Yard every time he would come here just to check it out. So Yao Ming's favorite city in the United States of America is Philadelphia, but the initial answer was cheesesteak.
I'm shocked at how many people who are Philadelphians who don't take advantage of the history of this town.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, I went to Reading Terminal Market for the first time in my life yesterday.
What?
Connor, we've talked about this one before.
Yes.
Reading Terminal Market. Okay.
Wait, that was
pretty cool.
First time ever?
I always thought it was underground.
Connor, how many times have I told you it's freaking awesome?
Yeah, it's dope. They got little shops and food and stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome,
cool, man. You guys should check it out.
What did you do?
What'd you get?
I got some lunch.
Where'd you get?
At Molly Malloy's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my favorite spots.
Got a pretzel.
Yeah.
People watched a little bit. It was nice.
The twisted pretzel.
It was like a cheesesteak pretzel dog.
Yeah,
thing.
but that's called like twisted something.
Yeah.
Like, that's their
The
dude, I love it there. I could spend the entire day there.
I love some of the little we used to get my mom little cheese shops.
Hell yeah!
Why didn't you guys tell me about this place?
I did constantly.
No one ever brings it up.
God, it's the best.
I'm busy.
All right, couple of things here.
Okay.
So I mentioned going into the break, maybe the Eagles need to improve at wide receiver. I said that jokingly. So the NFL top 100 players list is coming out. We're up to 23. That's the furthest we've gone so far. Lane Johnson, by the way, came in at number 23.
We're up to 23?
Yes. So it starts at 100. We're at 23. They'll get to number 1 before the start of the season.
Okay.
It's weird. Devontae Smith did not make the top 100 list.
That doesn't shock me. I don't think.
It doesn't shock you. Well, I have the wide receivers that are on it up until where we're at right now because Lane Johnson's at 23.
What was A.J. Brown was 29?
He was 29.
Okay, A.J. was 29. Well, okay, that'll tell you. So you can't have Devontae ahead of him.
Exactly. So I think we're all assuming that he's not on.
All right.
Nico Collins at 32. That's high.
That's high for him.
Hell of a player, but high praise. He's ahead of CeeDee Lamb, which I think is nonsense.
This is his peers, though.
And that's why I don't totally buy it. Nico Collins at 32, CeeDee Lamb at 35, Puka Nacua 41, Mike Evans 44, Tyreek Hill 47, Terry McLaurin 52, Brian Thomas Jr. at 61. He's going to have a big year if Trevor Lawrence can throw the football to him. Malik Neighbors 67, T. Higgins 77, Jerry Jeudy 82, Drake London 97, Ladd McConkey 100.
Okay, who do you have a problem with? Like Devontae with the back end guys, he's with them, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying he should be in the 30s,
but is he
like Ladd McConkey already ahead of Devontae Smith?
Ladd McConkey.
You're going Ladd McConkey over Devontae already.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not. Drake London, I like Drake London, but over Devontae Smith. Look, part of the reason why Devontae's numbers aren't higher is because he's also with A.J. Brown, right?
Also part of this, though, Devontae gets a lot of shine because of the team that he's on. Not saying he's not great, right? But we see a lot of Devontae. He plays in big games. It's people voting on this that match up against these guys and stuff like that. Sure. So it could be like Drake London's not on a good team, but he could be a really tough guy to cover.
Right. And look, I say one of the reasons why I don't necessarily value.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole thing about you not.
I've explained it.
What do you think?
Let's say you're playing at 4 o'clock. You're a player that's playing at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
You're on the field warming up during the 1 o'clock. You're not watching. And then you're playing the 4 o'clock game, so you're not watching any of the competition. And then after the game's over, I'm going to guess that not everybody's sitting down watching Sunday Night Football. Some may be. Plane ride home.
A lot of the guys do.
Or maybe they get home and they watch the second half. I don't think they're DVRing it like we do, right? I don't think they do that kind of stuff. And so they're basing it off of their one-on-one matchups, as Connor has said. But, an offensive lineman, if he's voting for wide receivers on the opposing team, how are they supposed to truly know? That's why I value the analyst one more than the player one.
Well, I'm surprised. Okay, so where are the analysts on a Sunday?
Well, they're all over the place, and they're studying the league
where are they on a Sunday? They're in one place.
Yeah,
they're watching. So they're getting.
But some are watching every game, where some may be covering locally.
They're not watching every game.
Well, they're following
Red Zone
along a lot more.
They're not. Red Zone doesn't do it for.
I'm going to guess that an analyst is more up to date on what's going on with the Chargers than the offensive lineman of the Cowboys would be.
That could be true in the majority of cases. You are correct.
So that's
why.
But
the thing is, an analyst. Remember, a media member goes to a game. They leave their house. Let's say they're lucky enough to go to a game and they have a press credential. They get up and they leave their house at like 9 in the morning for a 1 o'clock game. They get home to their house at like 6 o'clock.
Well, that's if they're covering the team specifically.
Yes, exactly. What I'm saying is that, they've missed at least the first half of the 4 o'clock games, minimum. They've missed all the 1 o'clock games. And so, I mean, like it's I don't think there's as much of a deep dive. And plus, players are talking to other players. Players talk to other players, talk to other coaches.
Yeah, but do you think they're going, yo
oh, dude, absolutely.
Who'd you put down for number 5? No, English quiz.
No, they're talking to other players about who's balling out. They're talking about who'd you play this week? Oh, man, I played. Oh, man, tell me. Man, that was awesome.
Sure.
They're constantly talking about each other. There's brotherhoods within the league where these guys are. There's almost too much camaraderie within the league. So I don't know, and I don't think players are like going, "Oh, I'm not voting for him. I don't like him." Like it's like Nico Collins is high though.
Yeah, 32's high. Like he's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
No, he's really good, but that's high to me.
32's high. All right, the NFL rule changes. Did you get that audio I sent you, Connor? All right, first and foremost, rule change that benefits an Eagle specifically. Jalix Hunt. They are not going to penalize you for the bow and arrow celebration anymore, as long as it's not directed toward a person. Like they're calling it the Cupid's arrow. If you get a sack and you do the arrow up into the air, like Jalix Hunt did in the Super Bowl last year, I think it was, or it was an NFC title game, and then got fined for it, which is ridiculous. I'm glad that they went back and decided that that's not fine-worthy or 15-yard flag-worthy.
What was the thing? Because of the rampant problem we've got now of people going out with crossbows and bow and arrows and killing people. I mean, that's just
stupid. Not walk down my street.
That's just stupid.
I'll take you out.
That's so stupid to me.
But don't they have to calculate the trajectory of the arrow shot?
Yeah,
like it could come back
and
down.
Wind and everything.
Yeah,
right.
That's gonna be tough
what
to
if it lands toward the bench of the opposing team?
Right? It's the dumbest. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So that's supposed to be. Is that threatening? If you point an arrow at somebody and
it's on Sportsman.
I'd be nervous if someone was pointing an arrow at me.
No,
John.
it's fake. Well, unsportsmanlike. Yes.
So speaking of unsportsmanlike, take a listen. Was this Troy? I think this was Troy Vincent.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Troy Vincent, who we know is a big part of the NFL. Every year, we know that there is an emphasis on a play or a rule that they want to penalize. Right. False starts was a big one for the Eagles last year. Clearly, illegal man downfield like 2 years ago. That was every freaking 5 seconds. There was an illegal man downfield penalty flag being thrown in every game. Take a listen to what they will be focusing on most this year.
Things that we've seen, there's just no place in the game for it. There's no place in the game to be standing over your opponent. There's no place in the game to have violent gestures. That's not the game of football. We just have to play by the rules, respect your opponent, respect your teammates, and play the game in between the whistles.
All right, now, first and foremost, like, pretending to shoot somebody, 15-yard penalty. Like, I'm fine with that. When Troy Vincent mentions the violent gestures. Like, if you're doing a Ja Morant celebration, 15-yard penalty. Let's take care of that now. But the first part of that clip was standing over an opponent. If you make a big tackle on someone, it is natural to immediately stand up and go, "How you like that?" Or "Whoa!"
Yeah, if I take your head off,
with that.
I stand over the kill. Let's go.
But that's going to get penalized.
That's crazy.
Dumb.
And imagine, like, a player that gets his first tackle of the season, like, that's usually like, I got that one out of the way. You usually see the first, bit of emotion We're going to penalize that? Really? I hate that.
I don't like that.
The overemphasis of unsportsmanlike conduct or unsportsmanlike whatever, I think is ridiculous. And if they're going to make that the case this year, we might see a lot of flags early on. It's going to bother the hell out of us. All right, coming up next, the latest drama surrounding Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. Another step toward maybe not seeing him week 1 when the Eagles take on the Cowboys. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
You get out a sense of where you are. I think that's
All right, Micah Parsons, the latest.
It's getting
Dallas.
later and later, by the way.
It's August the 22nd.
13 days to the opener.
And Micah Parsons still not with the new contract, still doing the hold-in at Cowboys training camp. The latest from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was on Michael Irvin's podcast. I apologize for the audio quality in advance. It isn't all that great because I don't know how serious Michael Irvin is taking his podcasting career. But Michael Irvin had Jerry Jones on as a guest. And here was Jerry Jones giving you the latest details for the Micah Parsons contract negotiation.
When we wanted to send the details to the agent told us to stick it up our ass.
Wait, now see, I was
just so you're clear.
Wait. What do you mean? So wait. What do you mean? Because people going to ask.
Mike and I talked, and then we were going to send it over to the agent. And we had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark over several areas. And so the issue, very frankly, is we've had the negotiation in my mind. And the agent's trying to get his nose in it right now and try to come in there and improve off the mark that we'd already set.
So,
okay, do you believe Jerry Jones?
That he spoke with Micah Parsons and then handed things over to the agent? Sure.
Yes. I believe Jerry Jones 100%, not 99.
And then the agent's going to do his job
and then the agent went, well, wait a minute. You agreed to that? You shouldn't have agreed to that. Let's make a new deal.
Sure.
I believe Jerry Jones negotiated with the player. Player said, here's the number I'm looking for. Here's the amount of years I'm looking for. Let's make a deal. I want to be a Cowboy. And then the agent got involved and goes, no. You could get so much more. Why did you agree to that? I'm getting involved.
Could be.
Screw that. Like that. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm waiting it out too.
Well, hopefully they wait out into the season.
Exactly.
And he's not available for September 4th.
That's not good faith because it's, by the way, it has not been denied by Micah Parsons.
Right, that happened.
That happened. No, Micah Parsons is not denied.
And he's very active on social media, as
correct.
We know.
He could deny that report.
right.
That's what Jerry says.
The latest thing from Micah was he after that went out.
Okay.
He posted on Twitter the peace sign emoji.
Yeah, he's out.
And the Micah 7:8. Even if I fall, I will rise. The Lord is my light. I don't know what he's saying. If that's anything directed toward Jerry Jones. But fact of the matter is there is a legitimate chance that Micah Parsons is unavailable week 1. Now, I do have a tinfoil cap theory.
What is it?
And I said it on the network.
What is it? Don't save the good stuff for the network.
Could you totally see Jerry Jones maybe having this deal done before week 1? And it doesn't get announced until it's time to do the banner ceremony.
Absolutely.
So that the national media, because the game would be on what, NBC?
Yeah.
Instead of taking the time to show the banner being shown.
It'd have to be announced. He'd have to be active hours before that.
Right. He may be active, and then everyone's going, oh, wow, Micah's playing. And then all of a sudden the news drops on a new contract.
Well, they'd know he was playing. The only way he's playing is with new contract. So that would leak out at that point. But I get you. Oh, no, like doing it the day of the Eagles?
Let me try to take away the light from what the Eagles will get on September 4th. Let me make this about me and the Dallas Cowboys?
I don't think it would take away from the Eagles, but I think it would absolutely. Could I see that?
Well, the pregame coverage would be more about Micah Parsons than the Super Bowl banner.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah, I mean, they honestly don't show that much of it on the national.
Right, exactly.
They're going to show that when the black curtain gets dropped off of it. Yeah. They're going to show that.
All right, so I have a question for the audience at 610-632-0975, YouTube as well. We had some fun with this the other day, but it was kind of in passing because I saw a comment on our YouTube chat that you and I completely laughed at. like bickered right away. Like,
okay.
Ripped them. And I apologize, even though I thought it was a ridiculous take. We had a guy, Mark, on our YouTube chat calling us cowards. That we would be happy if Micah Parsons does not suit up week 1 against the Eagles.
Yep.
That we'd be coward was the word that Mark used, which was why I was not afraid to rip back because you call me a coward.
Sure.
Absolutely. My back gets up against the wall a little bit. I wonder if fans truly care about the quote-unquote tougher challenge. Like, truly care. Because there were people that wanted Tom Brady and the Patriots before Super Bowl 52.
They say they did.
They say they did.
I don't believe it.
I want this revenge for 04. There were people that were saying it before the AFC Championship game, so it wasn't the after. Connor was one of them.
Absolutely.
I wanted Blake Bortles in the Jags because I want the easier
Blake Bortles
path.
in the Jags.
But there are people, Connor is an example, that wanted Brady and the Patriots. I'm sure there were people that, for whatever crazy reason, wanted the Red Sox in 08.
Doug Peterson and the Eagles roster did not want the Patriots.
No, they did not.
They would have wanted to play the Jaguars.
But from a fan standpoint, because the storylines are better, like beating Tom Brady and the Patriots is a better storyline than beating Blake Bortles and the Jags.
It is. Nobody would care at the parade.
No, nobody would. Do you truly, I want people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975. Do you truly care about the tougher challenge for your teams? I'm all about the easier path. Life's hard within itself.
Yeah, I'm going to take I'll take the Schuylkill every chance I get when I could take back roads and be fine. But no, I want to take the Schuylkill and just sit in traffic.
I want the challenge.
And avoid the potholes and the crazy drive.
Answer that for us at 610-632-0975. Coming up next, reset the show, text messages on all of our topics. And do we already have some passion coming from the orange and black? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wilson done for the year. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles, well, they're getting ready for their final preseason game, but Johnny Wilson, unfortunately, is not. The Birds got some news on him yesterday. He had an ankle and knee injury earlier in the week, and it was announced he'd have season-ending surgery for that. So that's a hit to the wide receiver room depth. Lucky for the Birds, they did recently add to that room with the acquisition of John Mechie III. And we talked to Adam Schefter earlier in the week about that trade.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice.
And depth is why you make a move like that. We're also going to find out more about the Eagles' depth tonight in their final preseason game against the Jets. Kickoff is at 7:30 from MetLife Stadium. And we're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day, which comes our way Tuesday, the 26th. Under 2 weeks till the opener. The Phillies were off last night. They'll play the Nationals at the Bank, starting 3 games tonight. 6:45 first pitch. Taijuan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. Union take on Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Kevin Nagati joins us coming up at 8:55. Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Did lunges yesterday, right?
No, I did it all. Squats, lunges. So yesterday was the first day I did a leg day, like a leg day in 6 years.
Oh, my gosh.
My God. Do I not miss it?
Yeah, leg day sucks.
So you don't have like a 25-year-old flat belly running you around a gym. Like you get to do it yourself still.
Right, exactly.
You get to still do it yourself.
Yeah,
I would come in here and cry. Like I would cry to you guys saying, man, I'm sore. Yeah. I'm this hurts. I'm glad to see you hurting.
Yeah,
because it's good for you.
It is good for me.
It's good for you, though. But it makes you healthier and everything like that.
As the show goes on and you sit and then you stand up to walk around for the first time in a while, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot how much this sucks.
The toilet's the worst.
Oh, dude, I can only because you're squatting again.
Yep.
I can only imagine.
It's a tough day. You're stuck there for hours sometimes.
Or you could do what our man Ty, our old friend Ty, would tell you to do is get the squatty potty.
Yes, people love
you
the
have less of
squatty
that.
potty.
He was a big squatty potty fan.
People love the squatty potty.
Yes.
It's one of those, I think once you start, you just stay there. It's like the Crocs. People love the Crocs. Once people start wearing Crocs, they always wear Crocs.
I think you can't open that door.
You've given up. No, you've just given up.
All right, now, me complaining about doing leg day, I think I'd be laughed in the face by probably any professional athlete, but maybe the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, Johnny.
I think he would.
Can you please read the comment that, I'll be honest, part of my energy this morning was reading the quote from Rick Tocchet that you sent me. I saw it this morning in your email. I know it's preseason talk.
Preseason stuff.
I get it. But I love the attitude already coming from the Flyers' new head.
And our man Jason Martinez, fine cancer warrior, was chatting on this yesterday, and he's been talking about it on his podcast too. 5 years without playoffs is unacceptable. If you can't handle the weight of this crest, you don't belong here. I didn't return for nostalgia. I came back to push this team, even if it ruffles feathers. Now I wonder, because he has a lot more in common with Torts than he doesn't.
Yeah, and some players had problems with that.
But will it be acceptable because it's Rick Tocchet?
Maybe.
Because Rick Tocchet is going to, if you are let's put it this way, if you're a soy boy, you're going to hate Rick Tocchet.
Right.
Is all I'm going to tell you. And I had the pleasure of watching Rick when I worked for the Flyers as a young man. I watched Rick as a player, and I watched him not bow up, but handle the challenge of being challenged by a guy like Mike Keenan constantly. And Keenan loved Tocchet.
Right.
But Keenan would ride his backside from time to time.
Sure.
To get the most out of him. And Tocchet was one of those guys that sort of like under his breath, you could tell he's like, you guys are
screw you.
But he would respond to it.
Right.
He didn't shelter from it. But I do ask you this. Are the expectations now, when you hear that quote, going to be playoffs?
They shouldn't be.
Because that's what I say.
Yeah.
And if people interpret it that way, I think a quote like this may backfire.
Right.
But I know what Rick's doing. I've watched this guy since I've watched him since he was 19 years old. Yeah. Is that I understand what he's trying to do. And I love the message of accountability. I love the message of it's not good enough what's been going on around this place.
Well, especially when Tortorella soured on people inside the Flyers, it's not. I think what Rick Tocchet is doing here is I want to make this clear. I'm not the emotional intelligence guy. I'm not Doug Peterson. Right? People soured on Chip. They brought in the anti-Chip.
Correct.
They brought in Doug, and everybody loved Doug.
Correct.
Maybe Rick Tocchet's trying to make it clear, hey, I'm not going to be a pushover just because you guys were upset with John Tortorella.
And that is the truth. And he doesn't, and believe me, he understands. Like, he is a guy that understands it all. He's going to push. John Tortorella, like, there are things about Rick that are going to make the pearl clutchers.
I just hope the captain's okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if he'll have his agent complain about it.
I hope he's okay with it.
Yeah, I just wonder. It's so, to me. I don't know. I'm really excited for Rick Tocchet to come in here. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to watch him work his magic.
I know it's coach speak, and I can't tell you how he's going to be as the coach, but it's a good start.
But I love that messaging. But I want people to understand the messaging. He's trying to raise the bar of expectation. But if you put the bar at, Tocchet said playoffs is the only thing that's acceptable. That's not what he said.
Yeah, if somebody feels that way, name me the goaltender that you feel comfortable with.
Correct.
I heard Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
And until Rick Tocchet gets a goaltender that is legit goaltending, and by the way, I do not believe that Rick Tocchet has legit playoff goaltending on his roster right now.
Of course not.
Not legit.
Of course not. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We'll get back to our text messages. Here's what we've been talking about today. Some of the questions that you can chime in on. The most recent one that we opened up for you. Are you a fan that wants tougher challenges for the teams? Because we got ripped the other day when we were celebrating the fact that Micah Parsons may not play week 1 against the Eagles. And we just played the clip in the previous segment from Jerry Jones where he says that he and Micah Parsons came to terms on a deal. The agent then said, quote, according to Jerry Jones, stick it up your ass. I don't think that's exactly what was said. Just a guess.
Yeah.
That was Jerry being Jerry. But there's a chance he's not playing week 1. And I celebrate that because any easier path for my teams, I want. And it's not rooting for injury. This is just a contract negotiation that's just becoming a circus in Dallas. I'd rather the easier path, but there are some people that don't feel that way. So that's one topic for you to chime in on at 610-632-0975. But the main one that we started off with is Rob Thompson and how you feel with Topper as the manager of the Phillies. I put together the T-chart of things that I believe he is unfairly criticized for and things that he is fairly criticized for. If you missed it, I believe he is unfairly criticized for his calls to the bullpen when he does and when he doesn't, because I think a lot of it is reaction to what the result is. We don't celebrate the good calls as much as we complain about the bad calls.
You are 100% true with that, and I am 100% guilty of that.
Resume is something that I think is being unfairly brought up recently, not by you, because you have been saying
I said it since the very beginning when he was hired.
But recently, the tide has shifted, more anti-Topper people than pro-Topper people. And something that we have gotten a lot recently is, well, there is a reason why he was a bench coach that long. When just a couple of years ago, people were saying, man, everybody missed this guy. It's just changed because of the results in recent years. Lineup, I believe he is sometimes unfairly criticized for because I believe there is a lot of emphasis from upstairs, much like Howie is to Nick Sirianni with the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe he is unfairly criticized for the 2024 playoffs when I would have done pretty much every move that he made.
And I would have also.
The only one that I didn't agree with was in a game where you were losing by like 3 or 4 runs, they had Estevez pitch a second inning, which I thought was dumb. And then the next game was when he gave up the grand slam to Lindor. Did that have anything to do with it? Probably not, but that was one of those moments where I said, why is he pitching a second inning?
Why is he doing something that you didn't ask him to do during the season?
Right. And then lastly, the comments in the press conferences, because sometimes, well, more often than not, he is overly careful with what he has to say. Now, what I believe he's fairly criticized for, lack of urgency, accountability, saying one thing, doing the opposite. And this year specifically, kind of the feel of when to go to the bullpen, when not to go to the bullpen. That's been a little off this year.
Well, the one thing I would say is, like when you talk about feel, I realize that even if a manager has feel, they're going to get burned some nights with their feel, and some nights the feel's going to be perfect. So I understand that is the case. But what I don't like is his erratic nature, because he doesn't. One night he does something, and then the next night he's very erratic with what he does. He doesn't have rhyme or reason with what he does. He's not consistent, and that bothers the hell out of me.
Sure.
That just really I don't understand that part of his game as a manager.
And that's why some things are fairly criticized and unfairly criticized.
And by the way, I unfairly criticize him at times. By the way you describe that, there are times that I probably unfairly, by your standards.
I'm having a good show today.
You are. No, I mean, no, look. If you can't admit, any critic of a player or a coach or otherwise, if you can't admit from time to time that, yeah, I'm a little unfair on that one, or I probably am quick to be critical because of the fact that I don't like this and this, so this pisses me off, so I jump on that. If you can't admit that, then I think probably you're just being blind to your own.
I've never been unfair, and I'm always right. What do we got in the text line, Connor?
You know what's funny is, though? I think you are less of that than I am.
What, always right?
No. I think you're less of that than I am. I think you are less. I think you get less embedded in a critique though than I do. So I admire that about you. Oh, wow. I think it's something that you do well. So there you go.
Hear the stuff I say about Connor.
But then the Joel Embiid stuff.
You should tell me that stuff. What are you saying?
What do we got?
I'll tell you what the text line's saying. So we got a lot of people checking in on that easiest path, coward conversation. Eddie from Camden says, why wouldn't I want my team to beat the best of the best? But at the same time, I'm not an idiot. I'll take an easy matchup. At the same time, it depends on my confidence in the given team.
Well, look, I understand. Like the 2 Super Bowls that the Eagles have are like storybook Super Bowls.
They were storybook.
You get your revenge against the Patriots, the cheating scandal. It's Nick Foles, backup quarterback, takes down the GOAT in Brady.
That's it.
It's great. And then the Eagles' second Super Bowl is after losing to the Chiefs 2 years prior. Like, I get it. You would rather get the revenge of the Chiefs. You wanted the revenge
You want the
of the
Disney
Patriots.
movie.
But at the same time, I wanted the Phillies to win back-to-back World Series. I did not want them to play the Yankees in 2009. I wanted them to play the Angels. And look what happened. They lost in 2009 to the better team, the better story, all the pride of the Yankees, all that kind of stuff. 2 World Series is more fun than 1.
And Billy Big Balls is great in theory. Like that whole thing, it's not great in practicality.
Because our man Joe the Cynic says, would fans have half-assed a parade if the Eagles beat the Browns in the Super Bowl? No, we still would have had a hell of a time on Broad Street. So continue to chime in on that. I'm curious where people fall on this at 610-632-0975 after John and I were called cowards earlier this week.
Cowards.
For not wanting Micah Parsons.
You know what I could do? I could take an Uber from Liv's apartment downtown, or I could walk back in North Philly in the middle of the night.
I've done that before.
Yeah, and guess what?
When I used to work at the Bees and didn't make enough money for a cab.
If it's a nice night.
Give me the Uber.
Coming up next, today's headlines with Connor Thomas here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Eagles wide receiver Jahan Dotson.
One thing I love about this play
97.5thefanatic.com.
Any streaming device, and of course the radio.
Now, back to the show.
So, Connor, I told John during the break, me walking back up North Broad is a true story in the middle of the night. 3 different times I had to do it.
What kind of time of night?
When you do the closing shift at a restaurant.
So what are you, like 1 in the morning?
Post midnight.
1:30?
Yeah, because remember, Broad Street line closes at midnight.
Got to get home.
Yeah, close.
And so there were a couple of nights when I worked at the Bees in Center City, no longer there. I did not make enough money in tips to get a cab.
Yeah, you don't want to work to cab it.
So I had to walk up 3 miles up Broad Street, middle of the night.
Now, Broad doesn't bother me as much.
I got
bother
you.
me as much.
Still at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah,
sure.
sure.
A little
sure.
eerie.
Absolutely.
You got your head on a swivel.
Sure, absolutely.
There are a couple times. First time I was terrified. Second time I was like, I did it before. Third time I was like, this is nice. Nice walk up.
I'm ready for this. Yes.
1 o'clock in the morning.
At
Why
3
not?
in the morning. Yes,
Why not? That's a long walk, by the way.
It is.
3 miles.
It is.
Thanks your time.
Hey, get your cardio in.
Also, real quick before headlines, Sean Comp on our YouTube chat talking about Topper. How many times does he misread the room when it comes to a starting pitcher? He'll leave a starting pitcher in with a history of falling apart and way too long, but then he'll pull Wheeler on 71 pitches in the World Series when he's dominating. So I don't know if you can use this year's examples to 2022. I don't think that you can. And the reason why I say that is because this year the bullpen has been so bad up until the trade deadline.
And a lot of that, though, again, we're not putting on Topper.
Right. With Alvarado getting suspended, and people give him a standing ovation for it, with Alvarado being suspended and then not having Duran yet, right? Romano had an ERA over 7. Strahm was starting to leak oil. Kerkering was one of your more consistent guys. You needed to leave your starting pitchers into the 7th inning because what did you want? If you take him out after 6, you're relying on Tanner Banks, who had a good year this year. You didn't have David Robertson yet. Like, a lot of the times where he kept the starting pitcher in what we believe is too long this year, I kind of understand why, though.
By the way, what was said to me the other day by the way, 2 people associated with the Phillies is what happened because of Alvarado getting suspended. What really happened was we got to find out what Banks was all about. And we got to find out that Banks got opportunities he never would have gotten.
Right.
So in that way, you can say the Alvarado suspension helped us find out what Banks was.
Second standing ovation, you're saying?
No, but it's just is that the idea is people trying to say, oh, they wouldn't even have gone for a guy like Duran. Yes, they would have.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have. The idea, though, was we found out about Banks. Banks never would have been in the situations he's in. And I think we now realize going forward, we got a guy there.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
He's pitched very,
pretty good.
He's pitched very well this year. All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
What's up, the
What's
voice
up,
of
V?
reason?
Hello. It's brought to us by Lundy Law for over 70 years. Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We're going to start with a little footy, if it's okay with you guys, because there's an interesting situation in Inter Miami's most recent game. It has nothing to do with Messi, but it has a lot to do with the manager of the
that
team.
hype has died off, by the way.
It really has.
The Messi Miami, like, remember how that was the biggest thing for the league?
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
you
Javier,
can watch it on Apple TV.
Yes, you can. Javier Mascherano is
or
the
listen here
manager.
on the Fanatic when they
Exactly.
That's true. Javier Mascherano is the manager of the team, and he was a little upset with the refs, said some things he shouldn't have said, got a red card, he was ejected. But then the TV broadcast caught him in the stands after doing something very interesting.
Well, that was on his iPhone, Javier Mascherano making a call.
He's ordering an extra large Monte while he's sitting there. Who's he talking to? Because as animated as he is right now, he's almost motioning. Oh, boy.
Is that the other end of that call?
The other end of the call was the assistant coach on the sideline. He was on the phone talking to him about strategy.
Okay, that's not good.
Now, let me ask you something. How much different is that from what happened with Michigan?
Oh, no, that's much different.
Much different.
Because this wasn't pre-planned.
Okay.
This was.
I'm saying he's in the stands.
No, but it's totally
a different.
No,
look
but
at
it's
things.
totally different.
He's calling.
No, this was pre-planned. Michigan had to go buy clothing,
right?
Get one of their coaches press credentials.
Yeah.
Have the coach pretend to be somebody that he wasn't. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, so if you ever get tossed from a game, hey, just make a phone call down to your assistant coach, take care of business.
By the way, speaking of the Harbaugh in Michigan, Urban Meyer, because he's a guy that you really want to...
By the way, he's right.
No, he's not wrong.
No, he's right.
I'm just saying Urban Meyer's not Mr. Clean-cut guy himself.
He's not, though, but he's right.
Urban Meyer believes Harbaugh should be suspended from the NFL because there was a previous occurrence where, I forget who it was, there was a coach in college that got suspended for something like this, not to the same extent. And the NFL, Roger Goodell, by the way, commissioner still at the time, said, yeah, you know what? We're going to respect that decision. We too will suspend this person.
Let them litigate it for a couple months, and then maybe like week, 14.
Yeah, that sounds good. Monday
sounds
night.
good.
Levy that suspension. All right, so this is a situation. I want to know how you guys would react to this. An Alaskan Airlines flight was stuck on the tarmac for an extended period of time. But luckily, there were some passengers on there that had a specific set of skills to help pass the time.
Is this Liam Neeson?
No, it's worse. It's a jazz band. They're playing jazz music in the plane on the tarmac while they're stranded there.
Okay.
And that would drive me insane.
Why?
It would not.
Dude,
You're not doing anything.
I
it
know,
would not.
but like, just leave me alone if we're stuck on the tarmac.
See, it would not.
No,
that would not.
I'm
I would
fine with
absolutely,
that.
as long as everybody in the plane, nobody was saying,
Please stop this.
like,
Yeah.
and it didn't go on for 2 hours.
Right.
I would absolutely be entertained and be.
Now, I have seen the videos in flight when little groups start playing their music and singing, I'm out.
By the way, too,
In flight, I'm out.
there was a great on the flight to L.A. So going out to L.A., they had first time ever. I have an announcement. They make an announcement on the plane, and it says, "By the way, this flight is a quiet flight. We want to remind you that it is a quiet flight. Do not be playing your cell phones
Interesting.
without earbuds. Do not be taking phone calls with your. Do not take phone calls where you're in public. Also, do not be watching your iPad without thing. I've never heard that announced on a plane, and I heard it just 2 weeks ago when I flew.
When I went to Clearwater, there was a guy watching a movie without the headphones plugged in.
No.
And I thought that's insane.
That is insanity.
Like you're an insane. If you feel comfortable,
you're a
watching
jerk.
a movie.
You're a jerk.
I think you're actually an insane human being, and I want you to be removed from this flight from the marshal.
Complete jerk.
Yeah.
My flight back from Spain, they told us no listening to anything without headphones.
Like a quiet.
Maybe it's become an issue recently, and that's part of the pre-flight.
Also, too, is I've been on flights before with people wearing their headsets, but blaring the music, and you can still hear it.
Well, yeah,
and they've been told
they may not
and they've been told
realize
tap it, going, can you please turn it down? And no one ever usually acts like a jerk. They go,
I would imagine they didn't realize it. It's the guy that's outwardly listening to something with no headphones plugged in. You are literally an insane person. You should be in a padded room.
Terrible.
All right, coming up next, the Philadelphia Eagles are becoming the world's team. Eagles TV numbers, they do well all across the country and internationally as well. Where do they rank in terms of teams that would be a part of a marquee matchup? It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds face the Jets. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles have their final preseason game tonight at 7:30 p.m. kickoff from MetLife Field as they take on the Jets. The Birds also, though, got some bad news in the wide receiver room yesterday. It was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery after a knee and ankle injury earlier this week. Luckily for the Eagles, they recently added to that wide receiver room with the trade for John Mechie III with Houston. We talked to Adam Schefter about what went into that trade.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice.
So they rolled the dice, and hey, looks like it came up sevens. I think sevens are good, right? We're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day. It's Tuesday the 26th in the NFL, so we'll keep you updated on what the Birds do with their final spots. The Phils were off last night. They'll play the Nationals at the Bank for 3 games starting tonight. First pitch is at 6:45. Taiwan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. The Union take on the Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk to Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 8:55. Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider, at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Moyer & Son. Summer's heating up. Call Moyer Indoor Outdoor for expert pest control and lawn care. Moyer, trusted service, year-round solutions. Visit eMoyer.com today. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. When you
What if we listen to Kincade Salciunas without headphones on a plane?
No, you can't do it.
Don't do that.
Psychopathic.
Andy B responds with, "You're better off eating an egg salad sandwich on the plane."
By the way, don't do that either.
Don't do that, but I would prefer the egg salad sandwich over us screaming and complaining about things.
By the way, don't bring on your heavy onion sandwich.
Wait. Does egg salad smell?
Oh God, it's awful.
Yeah,
it's
awful.
I love an egg salad sandwich.
No, awful.
That's an
Don't bring on your
meal.
I brought my hoagie. Got my hoagie from home and I packed it and I got my.
Oh, maybe you went no onion.
Stinky hoagie that you're bringing out.
Maybe you went no onion.
You got to pack that thing out. That's always fun.
All right,
that's always a fun one.
Ben Solak, who is with ESPN these days, as we know.
Yes.
Senior writer. I think he's my age.
It's amazing.
Ben Solak, he does like interesting different spins on articles, right? And so he did one for Watchability. He ranked 32-1 in terms of watchability for the 2025 NFL season.
Of teams.
Yes. Now, there are
big plays.
So big plays is one of them.
The ability to play close games.
Star players and cool stuff.
Okay.
So the one that I go, well, this shouldn't be on there is close game. Because you can't
year to year.
You can't predict who's going to be in close games. Like you just can't. And he mentions like how the Chiefs are kind of a boring team, but because they played in so many close games last year, that's why they're higher up on the list. And it's like, well, you can't predict that the Chiefs will once again be in close games this year.
It's my number one issue with his evaluation of what you're watching for.
Sure.
Like you can't do that. Close games, you have no idea how many close games you're going to be in.
Right, you have no idea.
They were in a record number last year of like these wild finishes. That's never happening this year.
Yeah. So I'll give you the top 10. I'll spare you from all 32.
You're going 10-1?
Packers, number 10.
Okay, I think the Packers are one of the top 10 watchable teams in the NFL.
Raiders at 9?
That's ridiculous.
Why? Because Ashton Genty,
what?
Geno Smith is still Geno Smith.
Brock Bowers is spectacular.
He's spectacular.
Come on.
The Raiders are going to win 6 games.
The Raiders are not I think I'd bet the over. I think I'd bet the over. You're setting it at 6. I think I'd bet the over.
I don't even know. I'll try to find what the actual number.
I think I would bet over.
You think higher the Raiders?
No, I think 7-10, 8-9. Yeah, I think that 7-10, 8-9.
See, the Vegas Raiders over under
7.5.
Is it at 7.5?
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
that's what I'm going to guess.
6.5. So I was right there.
I'd bet over.
All right.
Yeah, I'd take the over.
So the Raiders are at 9.
Which is crazy. They're not one of the 10 most watchable teams in the NFL.
I roll my eyes at that. Number 8
is even
the Jaguars.
More. No.
Now, here's why.
Yep.
Travis Hunter, both sides of the ball. But I don't believe that's actually going to play out.
Do you think he's going to be do people actually believe this is going to be the case?
He will in game, but how much exactly?
How many snaps do you think he's going to be playing both sides of the ball?
I really don't think he's playing that much.
Not many.
Well, then you're sitting watching Jaguar football,
right?
In order to see something that you can see on a highlight. I guarantee you this: on the highlight shows, when he plays both sides of the ball, they will highlight it
the 6 times.
The 5 or 6 plays that I don't even think it's going to be that many.
It probably will be.
If it is, you'll see those plays if they amount to anything.
Right.
Yeah, but you got 2 cool wide receivers, him and Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas is a stud, but is he top 10?
The Jacksonville Jaguars are a top 10 team to watch?
They're not. But
well, then that's
we're just going through what could potentially make the argument.
It's not they're not a top 10.
When I finish this, I'll tell you the teams that are just outside of the top 10.
Okay.
You tell me if the Jags should be in the top 10 or the Raiders. 7, the Bucks.
I agree with the Bucks totally.
Offense will be a fun team to watch. Falcons at 6.
That's ridiculous.
I don't see it.
Kyle Pitts here.
No. Kyle Pitts has been stealing money.
Buy the stock.
Sorry, Kyle.
Now,
Kyle.
Here is his biggest reason. It's the close games thing.
And you can't do it.
4-week stretch last year, beating the Eagles last second, losing at the end to the Chiefs, beating the Saints on a game-winning field goal, and then beating the Buccaneers in overtime.
Can't do it.
But that does, like, you don't know that that's going to play out this year.
How about I'll bet you right now that does not happen in a 4-week stretch.
I will agree with you.
That's never happening. And more importantly, I can tell you from having to have lived 21 seasons of Falcons football, doing this for a living, there's nothing sexy, exciting, interesting the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
They don't tend to be, ever.
Eagles coming at 5. Bengals at 4, Lions at 3, Ravens at 2, Commanders at 1.
I have no problem with those. See, I think the Commanders are going to be an interesting team to watch.
Number 1?
Yeah, I don't like that list, but top 10 team, yeah.
Top 10? No, top 10. I've won.
No, I don't like his list.
Like, you mean to tell me?
No.
And again, try to take all Eagles bias out of it. The Eagles play Thursday night to start the season, right? Which is great. Now, when I say Eagles bias out of it, that means you don't care about division matchups. Commanders, that's the game I have to sit down and watch.
No.
I'd rather go Ravens, Bills.
See, I disagree with you though on that one because I'm let me see. I got to look and see because I'll just pull out the spreadsheet and I'll look at it. I'm Giants Commanders. I'm watching Giants Commanders.
You're watching?
I'm watching division.
Broncos country, let's ride.
No, I'm watching Giants Commanders.
But that's why I said try to take your Eagles bias out of it, because division.
No, but I can't because about what I'm watching, though. I said as far as watchability, though, the Commanders are one of the most watchable teams to me. They're a top 10 watchable team.
They play at 1 o'clock. Let's see. The other 1 o'clock games, Dolphins, Colts, Steelers, Jets.
Nope.
I really don't care about the Rodgers.
But Steelers, Jets is one that I would be.
I'll check it out.
That's a secondary interest.
Panthers, Jags is disgusting.
No.
I'd rather vomit. Cardinals, Saints, Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Browns.
I'm watching
Raiders,
Giants,
Patriots.
Commanders because it's of most interest to me, and I think that's the biggest game.
Bucks, Falcons could be interesting.
That's 1 and 2 in that division.
And Bucks, Falcons is in Atlanta.
So the teams just outside of the top 10 on this list of watchability.
Who are we kicking out the Raiders for?
So Bills are 11. They should be in the top.
Raiders. Kick the Raiders out. Put the Bills
Jaguars.
in.
The Vikings are at 12. Yeah. I'm extremely intrigued by the Vikings.
You don't know what J.J. McCarthy is yet.
That's the intriguing factor of it.
Yeah, but if they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but still, it's watchability. You still got Justin Jefferson. You got a great defense. That's a team that's going to be interesting.
And he could have 3 bad weeks to start, and then you could maybe see him get past the growing pains the next 3 weeks. I don't know.
You might. Yeah, you might. You might, Travis. You might.
Texans 13, and then I'll stop at the 14 with the Cowboys just because the Cowboys are up there because it's the Cowboys. But yeah, I would kick Jags, Raiders out for
Jags and Raiders are out.
Bills and Vikings.
Falcons are maybe out.
Yeah, they shouldn't be that. And if you want to put them at 10 because of Penix,
maybe
fine. But you want to put 6? It's ridiculous.
And by the way, watch your autocorrect on your Penix tweets.
Man, there are a lot of mistakes.
It's happening on television now 3 times.
People made jerseys because of it.
Yeah, they did. The NFL stopped it, by the way.
All right, coming up next.
NFL.com had to stop it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other websites you can find.
I'm sure Haley can find some,
probably,
10-year-old kid
I'm sorry
making it over in China.
I'm sorry to say this because I'm trying to not make this as political as possible, but somebody in office is screwing up. Thursday, September 4th could be an absolute sheesh show after the Eagles beat the Cowboys. The latest from SEPTA next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles have their final preseason game tonight against the Jets. They will play up at MetLife at 7:30. It's our last chance to see some of these guys in actual preseason game action before roster cutdown day, which comes your way on Tuesday the 26th. So this coming Tuesday, we'll have a 53-man roster, and it is also a point for the Eagles to try and figure out what they're doing with the wide receiver room because the depth got a little bit thinner yesterday. We found out that Johnny Wilson is having season-ending surgery after an ankle and knee issue earlier this week in camp. So that makes it even more important that the Eagles went out and acquired wide receiver John Mechie III from the Texans. We talked to Adam Schefter about that trade earlier this week.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what? Let's roll the dice
And sometimes that roll of the dice really pays off. It seems like it has right off the bat here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Sometimes rolling the dice does not pay off, though. And Jerry Jones, man, he's rolling down there in Dallas. The Eagles are now thinking about the Cowboys with that under 2 weeks away, the home opener. And the situation with Micah not getting any clearer. We asked Shefty about that as well.
I think that one's just way up in the air. Like, I don't know how that's going to go. I'm just telling you, I don't know whether it's after this season. It certainly doesn't feel like those two sides are interested in getting a long-term deal done.
Could be good for the Eagles. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best birds information, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Engagement season, but remember, don't force it.
Don't tell your significant other something so ridiculous they almost feel obligated to engage in.
Isn't your great-grandpa's sports talk show. This is today's talk show.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
8:42 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll get back to our text messages on any of our topics coming up momentarily. The SEPTA issues that are going on, look, a lot of it's still above my head. Like, I'm not reading so intently in on it, but I know it's becoming a problem. and I know that it will get worse and worse depending on the results. What, you said Sunday is when they're going to make a lot of decisions?
No, the 29th is when it all...
Sorry, 29th.
Is 29th when it all ends? So you got a week. I think the 29th, so that's like next Friday? I think it's the drop-dead date is the 29th.
So I am doing this as a PSA for Eagles fans, just so that you have this information. Because if this is how it's going to go, be prepared for around midnight, September 4th going into the 5th after the Eagles beat the Cowboys, for that complex.
I like how you say that.
Damn right. For that sports complex to be an absolute bleep show. Like, I want to use the full curse word. I saw this tweet from Bob Kelly of Fox 29, so I want to give him the credit. There will be no extra express coupled with 20% less regular trips. Normally stage 10 extras at NRG to run for the hour after the game will now only have 3 to 4 trains during that time per the regular schedule. So instead of 10, when 80,000 people spill out of Lincoln Financial Field and not everybody drives to the games, there will only be 3 to 4. For a night game, that could be a bigger issue because we'll have a hard stop for service a little after midnight, which is going to be when the game is ending. A little before, but by the time you get out of the stadium, make the walk to NRG Station. They normally run past the schedule to get crowds out as needed. So if we normally take about 16,000 people post-game, we're looking at only taking about 4. That's horrible.
4 people?
4,000.
I know. That is bad,
From
though.
16,000 to 4,000.
It's bad.
And, like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, this becomes more of an issue than what I think they think on paper. They think about finances and all that kind of stuff. Now you're going to have people, walking back in the middle of the night up Broad Street?
What are you going to have? Then you're going to have the whores that are going to then what do you think the surge rates are going to be?
Yeah, surge rates will be through the roof with Uber people. I have gotten into a cab once leaving a Phillies game where the guy never turned the meter on, and then when I asked him, why aren't you turning the meter on, he told me he was off duty, and I was like, what do you mean? He then tried getting me for a flat rate. I refused to pay. He dropped me off on the side of 76. That was a fun time.
Then you walked on 76.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Off an exit ramp.
That's
yeah.
really fun.
So there will be people that drive cabs or Ubers that, and it's not necessarily they're doing. Not all cab drivers like that. That was one.
No.
That was one
you had one
face.
nefarious,
yeah.
right? Exactly.
But the Uber, they don't set the prices. It's the company.
It's the surge pricing.
And now you're going to have people walking. God knows how much they've been drinking. They're going to be walking up Broad Street, or they're going to be walking down side streets. Maybe they don't want to be walking down certain streets at 1 o'clock in the morning. This is messed up, man.
It's messed up.
And, look, again, this is well above my pay grade to know what the answer should be. But to go from 16,000 people to 4,000 people because you don't want to spend certain dollars,
it's not going to be fun.
It's horrible.
You want to ride in the Mustang, $20 flat rate. We'll pop the top. We'll talk about the game.
Yeah, but only to your destination.
Yeah, no, it's just wherever.
No, but then Connor can get you to a place where maybe you could then get one of the other trains or something like that.
Yeah, the CT shuttle.
Or trafficked. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be in bed.
and you know what? A point that I just saw on the tweet. Do they not think about the people that clean up the stadium afterward that are there till, I don't know, who knows what time they're there?
Well, they wouldn't be able to take the Broad Street line anyway.
Right, but there's just nothing available. I don't know.
It's not good.
I think this is horrible, and I can't believe that it's gone this
And it's,
far.
by the way, it's political theater.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Correct.
Both sides.
Horrible.
Because one side wants what they want, one side wants what they want. And so they're going to literally hold this over the heads of each of them and play this political game of chicken. My guess is it gets fixed.
I would hope so. Because
the train will no longer, the Thorndale line will no longer come out to my house, regional rail.
Wow, really?
Yeah. There'll be no train to Landview.
That's horrible.
I mean, come on now.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have a bunch of people still checking in on this conversation about easiest path and the Micah Parsons coward conversation. Ryan from the Jersey Shore says, I want the easiest path. It's still an NFL team regardless if Parsons plays or not. Wins are never easy. Why not take the easier path?
Damn right. Now, Mark is still listening and watching on YouTube, and he's happy that we're still talking about this. So thank you to you, Mark.
Good job, Mark.
I saw one of our comments, and I missed it because it was a while ago, and I forget who said it, that they never feel the joy of beating a Dak-less Cowboys team.
What?
I still enjoy beating the Cowboys, even if it's Trey Lance getting second-half snaps.
I never once went, you know what, last year, damn, we won those games, but,
that Super Bowl season was a lot of fun, but that win against the Cowboys when Dak wasn't on the field.
If only we had beaten with Dak, it would have been so much different.
I don't feel that way.
I don't do that either.
A win is a win. I don't care who it's against.
Don't care.
And when I'm
now, maybe Cowboy Week doesn't seem the same for him.
Sure,
but does it have any lasting like influence on you?
No.
Again,
that's why when I close my eyes and I think back to 2008, little 14-year-old Andrew celebrating the Phillies winning the World Series,
with a bag of cookies.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh my God, but I wish it was against the Red Sox.
No.
No, I close my eyes and I think of Chooch hitting a little dribbler and Eric Bruntlett scoring in Game 3. Evan Longoria throwing it over Dioner Navarro, the catcher of the Rays. I remember that. It doesn't care. I don't care that they beat the Rays. They won the World Series.
They did.
It's one of the best moments of my life.
Okay, so let me explain this Patriots thing because it just felt like it fit the story at the time, right? That's the thing. I wanted the Chiefs last year. I thought the Bills would be a tougher matchup.
Why would you say that?
That the Bills would be the tougher matchup?
Yeah, why would you say that over one of the generational winning team of our lifetimes?
The Eagles didn't do well with quarterbacks with mobility. Josh Allen's a lot more mobile than Patrick Mahomes. I thought that he was just a personal bad matchup that could wreck that game for him.
Yeah, but Josh Allen and the Bills are a team that never wins.
Well, that's why they weren't there. But I think on paper, the Bills were the tougher matchup for the Eagles. So it's not just every year I want the toughest team. Just playing Brady and the Patriots, and we were already doing the whole Nick Foles magic thing. I like that, so I wanted him.
I was waiting for that magic to run out.
Yeah, and
Never did, baby.
I wanted Blake Bortles and the Jags because that was the
Bortles.
Easier path.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up next, we'll continue this conversation. I'm kind of surprised that that's the most run we're getting on text message.
We're still getting a lot to this moment.
All right, we'll get more coming up next.
That's good.
We had a guy call it Mark. And thank you, Mark, for listening. Mark called us cowards earlier this week because we were celebrating the fact that Micah Parsons may not play Week 1. We were called cowards for that.
Cowards.
From a fellow Eagles fan. I want the easier path. What about you?
No. I want to. We're going down to Temple today. We'll be down there at Leacourse Walk from 1 to 3. I'm going to purposely take. I'm going to take as much of the highway as I can.
Hell yeah,
because I want to sit in traffic.
Sit in traffic, baby.
Maybe get a fender bender.
610-632-0975. That's the number you can text in. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles lose Johnny Wilson. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Birds got some bad news in the wide receiver room yesterday. It was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery after a knee and ankle injury earlier this week in camp. Lucky for the Eagles, they did make a move at that position earlier on in the week, trading for John Mechie III. We talked to Adam Schefter about that on Wednesday.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what, let's roll the dice.
Depth is a lot of the conversation this point in the year. The Eagles have their final preseason game tonight at 7:30 at MetLife against the Jets, so we'll be watching the depth closely, especially with just 4 days until roster cutdown day comes your way Tuesday the 26th. Those were off last night. They are going to welcome the Nationals to the bank tonight for 3 games. First pitch is at 6:45 with Taijuan Walker on the hill. Cade Cavalli goes for the Nats. The Union take on Chicago Fire tomorrow night up in the Windy City. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll talk to Jordan Schultz, NFL Insider, coming up at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
is not with us this morning.
What's that?
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish logo has changed.
Has it?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
changed
see
the
that.
logo.
You missed this?
Yeah.
Do you live under a rock sometime?
No, dude.
I'm the person that doesn't check the phone or misses everything, and yet I know this.
Yes.
Yeah, they changed the logo. Not by much. It's still a leprechaun, but instead of with the old fists, he's running with a football in his hand.
Ooh, okay.
It's different. This morning, we were getting Andrew on Ghostface Killer.
Hey, Ghostface Killer, man.
I loved that this morning.
Yeah,
I loved that because you did know Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I know Wu-Tang Clan. I just don't.
But you didn't know Ghostface.
I don't know people's names. Like,
It was funny.
I don't know anybody's names.
That was good.
I found out who Big X the Plug is the other day.
Oh, yeah.
You did?
He's doing a combo with Luke Combs.
Oh, really? So that's how you had to find out. Okay.
Look. You find things out.
I love it though because you do own it and you wear it.
Yeah.
And you wear it.
I am
you own
the
it.
least cool person in the world.
No, you're not.
Yes, I
No,
am.
you're not. No, you're not.
You're down there, but
I'm
you're
down
not the
there.
least.
And you know
You're-
what?
No, you're on the list.
And I own it.
You're on the list, but you do make me feel a little bit more in tune
As
with
I've
what's
said
going
to
on.
you numerous times, John, I
And
am
you are who you are.
unapologetically me.
You are who you are.
I'm who I
and I
am.
love that.
I just love people.
You do.
I love life.
You do.
I'm blessed to do what I do for a living.
You do.
And I just enjoy being happy.
And you do.
Speaking of, you have the
Yes.
song ready, Connor?
Yes, I do.
All right. So how did this even start this morning? So before the show today, we were talking about ELO. Do you remember? I was singing a song, which I forget which ELO song I was singing when I came in because it was on the radio, and I don't even know that it was their song. I didn't. But when John said, "Now, how do you know ELO? That must be from your parents."
I said, "Is that from your dad?"
I was like, "Yeah, they listened to classic rock when I was a little kid."
Because I know ELO from my brother, and my brother is comparable age to your pop.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I was exposed to ELO from my brother, and I like ELO.
And then Connor,
But I don't know. I'm not an aficionado,
right?
But I knew because of my brother.
And then Connor said, "I don't think I know any ELO songs." And we both said, "Yes, you do. Once you hear it, you'll know who they are." Blah blah blah. And then I started playing this song during our pre-show prep, and I want to have a little topic off of it. Go ahead. So this song from ELO is Mr. Blue Sky.
It's a great song.
I believe this song just brings a smile to your face anytime you hear it.
Happy music.
It's timeless.
Whether it's a commercial, because I'm sure, I think we've heard this in commercials.
You have absolutely heard this in commercials. I know that Walmart has used it. I know Walmart has used
has,
it.
all right.
And you're a big Walmart guy like I am. I like Walmart.
I just told you, Walmart's too far from my house.
There you go.
But anyways, this song
You like Target.
is an automatic smile on the face song.
It's a great song. It's just an upbeat song. It's happy.
Are there other songs that when you hear it, like right away, you're just like, I'm in a good mood now?
Yes.
Yeah. Most songs, I think.
Yes.
I like music.
Really?
Yeah.
No, but
I'm
I
not
mean
that
like
way.
not. I mean like when you get like that smile immediately when you hear that song. Like I was like, man, I love this song. This song puts a smile on my face. Is there other put a smile on your face songs?
You know, that's weird, though, is that when then you just think Under the Gun, what's the song? And I'm like, okay, well, what's the song? But I know that they're there, that there's a bunch of songs that are like that, but I can't think. Under the Gun, I'm going, what is the songs?
Yeah.
Love
that they
Train.
are?
Love
that's a
Train's-
great
Love Train's a
song.
good one. People all over the world.
I love that
Makes you think
song.
of the Coors Light commercials.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Give me a
Yeah,
beer.
exactly.
Give me one of those silver bullets.
I got one now. It's one. Now, this one will not hit for you guys.
Sure.
But we used to have a thing called, I've said this before, we used to have a thing called Battle of the Band down in Georgia, Battle of the Bands, where we would solicit local bands.
Mm-hmm.
And like if we as a radio station, each one of us would have a local band that we would team with, and we would put on a beer fest and local bands, and there'd be 3 stages, so they'd constantly change out, and you had to get up and perform 2 songs with your band, your house band. And one was a Meatloaf tribute band.
Okay.
And 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It's a quality song.
And
That
Paradise
doesn't put a smile on my face,
Oh,
though.
it always puts a smile on my face because it's one of my favorite driving.
It's about a breakup.
But it's one of my favorite songs to sing when I'm driving. And also Paradise by the Dashboard Light is one that.
What, do you think about your exes when you're driving into work?
The Paradise by the Dashboard Light is one of my favorite songs to sing.
Yeah.
Like it drives, always gives you an upbeat
Let me
singing.
sleep on it.
And I can't.
Baby,
I can't now. Sunday when I drive down to the beach, I cannot drive down to the shore without, on the way to Cape May, the old Al Albert song.
Oh well, yeah.
I cannot. That always has to come up.
Yeah.
I have to play it, just as the first time I smell the shore.
Right. Now, a couple of people chiming in on YouTube. So I want people. Look, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
To steal from our friend Nicole Mahalik from down the
What's up,
aisle.
Cole?
Feel Good Friday, right?
Yes.
Like that's what she does at her sister
We've only
station.
got a few
next to
summer
you.
Fridays left.
That's right. So Nicole, thank you. I hope you didn't trademark it. I'm stealing it.
We're stealing it.
Feel Good Friday for today.
Come and get us, Nicole.
There are people chiming in on YouTube, and I appreciate it. First off, Colby always thought that was a Beatles song. It's not.
No.
But that song sounds very much like A Day in a Life by the Beatles. The second half of A Day in a Life when it's more upbeat.
Okay.
It sounds just like it. We have some coming in. Any Randy Newman song from Andy B. I agree. Randy Newman and the Toy Story soundtrack always puts a smile on my face.
For sure.
And we play that. I mean, that's on the rotation right now.
What, the You Got a Friend in Me and stuff?
You Got a Friend in Me, and We Belong Together is me and Coop's song.
That's a great song.
I cry when that song plays at the house sometimes.
That's a great song.
Yeah, I have a great video when he was a little baby or like a 1-year-old and he was putting goldfish in my mouth while that song was playing in the background. Anytime
You get tears in your eyes.
I want to cry, that's my go-to. Where are we at? Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, also
Great
by
song.
Andy B.
Great song.
Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. Sure.
Really?
Why not?
Maybe.
Hey, it puts a smile on their face.
How about
Okay.
Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis? That's a good one.
That
for
is
me.
a great one.
Yeah, unless you have like a 13-year-old daughter.
I'll give you another old school one. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
No,
dude,
for
that
me.
song, Joy to the World. Come on, man.
I
Not for
sing
me.
that just like when I'm walking around sometimes. Yeah.
You don't like that song?
I don't mind it, but it's not one of those songs for me.
Oh, that's a
Not one for me.
automatic smile on my face when I hear that song.
I got one for you, Salciunas.
What we got? Anything that puts me in a mood, a vibe, absolutely. Even though Buffalo Soldier is not a happy song.
No.
I know
You
it's
know
not.
that?
See,
No,
you
I
could
know
come
it's
to
not.
you could come to any one of my in-laws.
Yeah, Buffalo Soldier's not a happy
I know
song.
it's not a happy song.
People
It's
people think of it as a happy song.
It's
your
not a
nighttime
happy song.
routine.
Because Shane Victorino, that was his a walk-up song. If you actually listen to the lyrics, it's really sad.
If you the story of
Right, you would know more.
The story of Jamaica is very sad.
There's a lot of people that just go, "Oh, Bob Marley, let's get high."
The story of
That's what I was going for.
The story of Jamaica is incredibly sad.
Yeah, so there's
What Jamaica has become is incredibly sad.
right. There's a lot to it. Freedom.
That's a great song. No, that's a great
Dude,
song. That's a good song.
Now I will say, Christopher chimes in here. When I first heard it, yes.
What?
Happy by Pharrell just
No,
over,
not like it.
over,
No,
it got overplayed.
Nope.
No.
When it first came
Nope.
out, I was fine with it.
Nope.
And then it was like, it was 1,000 times a day.
Nope.
All right, you're listening to 97.5, The Fanatic,
Connor?
WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
Connor, we're brothers in arms on this one.
It was fine.
I think everybody is.
It was fine when it first came out.
No, the first time I heard it.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
Oh, you didn't like it the first time?
No, I didn't like it the first time.
Oh, I liked
just
it a
thought
lot
it got-
the
What, it
first
became
time.
an earworm for you?
I thought it
No,
just
I
got
liked it,
overplayed.
but it's just too much.
No.
I
No, I don't want to hear it again.
You know what? Flyers Guru chimes in with the best one.
What's up, Flyers Guru?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Hell yeah.
That's a great one.
100%.
Hey, here's a good one, too. There you go.
Oh man, this is the best one. We're almost here. It's almost kickoff.
Less than 2 weeks, boys.
We have a game tonight. Come on, man. You
I love
fired
that.
up.
That is spectacular.
You want to know how much we don't care about preseason week number 3? We mentioned it in the first segment, and we just mentioned it to start the 9
Here's
o'clock
what I
hour.
wish. I wish a prayer of good health to
Yes.
every single guy that is on the field tonight for both teams. Cousin Matt checks in. The Masters theme.
Oh.
Well, no, you hear it. Does it not always say to you, winter's almost over?
Yeah, I think of
Because during the NFL playoffs, they start with the do-ding-ding, ding-ding-ding.
How about I give you Georgia by Ray? The Ray
not
version.
bad. Well, that's
Ray
awesome.
version.
No, it's got to be the Ray version.
Yeah, the Ray version.
Only one.
All right, what do we
They
got?
bastardized that thing.
What do we got on the text line, Connor? It's 610-632-0975. What are people saying about the easier path?
Yeah, so this texter checks in and says it's not our job as Eagles fans to make sure other teams have their best players out on the field to play against us. Whatever team they put out on the field, I assume is the best they can do for the moment. And if that's not their best because of whatever's going on, that's their problem.
Yeah, like the Micah Parsons maybe not playing week one. It's not us going, man, I really hope that hamstring is still not intact.
It's let their own dirty laundry keep him out of the game.
Yeah.
Let them screw up their own situation. By the way, he's playing. I really believe he's playing. I don't think they're going to let this happen.
By the way, let me add to the coward comment for our man Mark earlier in the week. Can I also say I wish Micah Parsons didn't play for the Cowboys, period? Like, do I wish he was in the AFC? Is that cowardice? Because if he's not playing week one because of contract reasons, maybe that contract circus becomes such a problem that he's not even in the NFC anymore. I would celebrate that too.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I'll do you one better. I wish Micah Parsons was like really good at playing the guitar or something. Or maybe he had another passion in life besides football and never even discovered the NFL.
So that you don't have to see him.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Get him out of there.
Oh, no.
All right, coming up next, we look around the NFL a little bit more outside of just Philadelphia with Jordan Schultz, NFL insider. We speak with him next. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons
97.5 The Fanatic. Shout out to our YouTube chat being really active with the happy songs. Margaritaville from Jim G. That's obviously
okay. That's a good one.
That's always a great one. Whole Lot of Love. Mopar putting in there. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I saw somebody put in Taking It Easy or Take It Easy by the Eagles. Oh, also Jim G.
I like so many Eagles songs.
Yeah, I mean, there's songs that just put a smile on your face. Right. And when we were talking about ELO this morning, they got a couple that like when you hear it, you're just like, this song puts a smile on my face. Exactly. And Haley said to me during the commercial break just now, Andrew, you've been in such a good mood today. And maybe it started off driving into work today.
Could be.
And it's a payday Friday. And
exactly. I think that was more about it.
There it is. Like, this song puts a smile on your face. There's no debating it.
It's a great song.
You know what else puts a smile on my face? Talking to Jordan Schultz. Joining us now on the Comcast
That's high
Business
praise
Hotline.
for Jordan.
Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Great NFL insider Jordan Schultz joins us. Jordan, what's going on, man? Good morning.
Good morning, fellas.
Do you agree that there are some songs that just automatically put a smile on your face?
You got Tom Petty, Free Fallin'.
Oh, that's a great song.
Dude, right away.
That's a great karaoke song.
Yeah, and then everything else pales in comparison, but that to me is number one. But yeah, there's always a few that really gets you right.
Yeah, just as soon as you hear it, you get a smile on your face. All right, we're getting closer, Jordan. September 4th kickoff between the Eagles and Cowboys. And one of the bigger storylines is not the Eagles showing their Super Bowl banner, but whether or not Micah Parsons will be on the field in week 1. What's your read on this situation?
Yeah, I mean, this thing should be so straightforward for Dallas. You're talking about a guy who's 26 years old, peak of his powers, second contract, and for whatever reason, Jerry Jones makes this all about him. And it's always a circus with the Cowboys, and we've come to expect that. But this one, to me, is just completely baffling. And, you saw Micah Parsons last night. Actually tweeted this, I think it was probably about 9, 10 o'clock. He removed all of his Cowboys-related content from his Twitter profile. And then on TikTok, he put out basically something I thought was really telling. Speaking of Philadelphia, he had an Allen Iverson sound that I don't care where I go, I'm going to win. I'm going to win wherever I go. And you know what? I don't blame him one bit. This is a guy that's done everything right, and I think last year should have been paid. And then another great year, and then now Jerry Jones again taking it all about himself. It's incredible.
Jordan, let me play devil's advocate with you for a second, because just on this whole situation. Do you believe that Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons did not have the conversations where they talked about years, length, and everything like that, and they agreed to that? Because where I've read, I have not seen Micah Parsons contest that or say that that's a lie.
So I think they spoke, and I think it was good conversation or conversations, and then Jerry basically tried to do what Jerry tried to have the power play of, listen, I'm the owner, you're the player, this is my franchise, and this is how we've always done things with great players. Whether it was Tyron Smith, Emmitt Smith, this is Michael Irvin.
Right.
I talk to the players, and then we get the deal done. And this is 2025. It's a totally different ballgame. And I think on a bigger scale, this is why Dallas has struggled, the Cowboys, for so long, because Jerry has never been able to adapt. It's a totally different sport. You're not even playing the same sport as you were 30 years ago in many respects, from an on-field and business-wise. So I think they spoke. And then I think Jerry tried to hold Micah and David Legetta, his agent, to whatever that conversation was, and that's just not how it works. So I don't blame the agent. I blame the player. And if you're Jerry, I think you have to take a step back and understand that even if you believe in your mind Micah agreed or you had positive conversations about a number, about a structure, that's what the agent's for. That's why he has him.
We're speaking with Jordan Schultz. Jordan, I'm going to put you on hold for 1 second just because your phone is, it sounds robotic, a little cutting in and out. So Connor's going to try to clean that up. Jordan Schultz, of course, NFL insider.
I'm going to tell you this, is that, and I hear Jordan's explanation there. Having had an agent for a long part of my career, if I have a conversation with my employer and my employer says to me, and we discuss years and the amount of money and things like that, and we think we've come to an agreement, he believes it, and then I say, well, my agent will talk to you about it. And then my agent hears from me and goes, what the hell are you doing? Like what's going on? We shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Then I think Jerry Jones would have every right to go, wait a minute here. Now you're trying to renegotiate? Like, I mean, come on. Because he has not denied that, because Jerry Jones has said, we agreed on years, money, and everything. So It just seems strange.
All right, we got Jordan back. Sorry about that, Jordan. Got you back here. Let's go ahead.
What? No, I was just going to, I don't know how much you heard, but I mean, Jerry, whatever, even if he feels that this is the deal we agreed to, this was the number, you have an agent for a reason, and he has to understand if he wants to get this thing done and be realistic, that's what David Mulligan is for, and that Micah is obviously going to, he's going to have his agent in play for that very reason. It's just ridiculous to me.
All right, last thing for you, Jordan. Commanders, another team in the Eagles division that we're keeping an eye on when it comes to contract talks. What's going on in D.C. or with the Commanders? Terry McLaurin's situation, and then also they're talking about potentially trading the running back?
Yeah, so there's a couple situations there. I'll start with the running back. I think Brian Robinson, good player. This is going into year 4, contract eligible. I think he obviously wanted to get an extension. This is not the regime that drafted him. And, they have a couple other guys they like. Chris Rodriguez, drafted a 7th rounder out of Arizona. That's looked good. So, to me, he's going to be either moved or released. And I think I would still believe it's going to be a trade. There is some value there. It really comes down to compensation back, whether Washington's able to find a number they want back or just out release him. But I would think he's played his last days in Washington. On Terry McLaurin, what's fascinating about that one is it's not entirely dissimilar to Micah Parsons in the sense that you have a face of the franchise caliber player. You guys obviously very familiar with him, terrific player. Hasn't missed a game in 4+ years. Washington saying 29, give me 30. You're a great player, but you're not worth what you want. And Terry McLaurin saying, I've been here. I've been the face of this franchise for the last 7 years. I've done everything right what he has. And it's interesting, too, when I reported that he requested trade, I had 3 different teams reach out to me within 20 minutes. There is a lot of interest in Terry McLaurin. Mm-hmm. The problem is Washington doesn't want to trade him. They also don't want to pay him. So you can't have your cake and eat it, too, and we're obviously not crunching time, and they're going to have to make a decision.
Jordan, listen, man, we appreciate the time. I know you're about to get really, really busy with the start of the regular season. Keep up the great work, man. Always love following your work, and we hope to talk to you again down the road.
Thanks, Jordan.
You got it. No problem.
There he is, Jordan Schultz on the Comcast Business Hotline. Almost sounded like an AI version of Jordan
that was
Schultz.
Weird. That was a weird connection.
Something in the phone where it would
just a weird
speed up,
connection.
it would slow down.
And the clicking and everything.
It happens.
Like that. It does.
It happens.
He's so on top of info, the phone can't even catch up to
Hell
him.
yeah, man. That might be it. All right, coming up next.
And he doesn't even have to work. And he still does.
He still does. We've talked a lot about the Phillies today and about the manager. But coming up next, we will preview the next couple of series. Phillies Nationals this weekend. Who the Mets have this weekend. And then next week, a series that could end the NL East. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles' final dress rehearsal. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Birds are getting their last chance to tune up before the regular season. They take on the Jets in their last preseason game tonight. MetLife Stadium, 7:30 p.m. the time for kickoff. And unfortunately, they're heading into it with some bad news in the wide receiver room, as yesterday it was announced that Johnny Wilson would be undergoing season-ending surgery. He had a knee and ankle injury earlier this week in camp. Good for the Eagles, at least, that they acquired John Mechie III earlier this week from Houston to add to that wide receiver room depth. We asked Adam Schefter about that on Wednesday.
You got a team in the Eagles, so they've got more picks than they actually need. And here's a player that I think had some value to some teams around the league that they felt could help improve their roster. And they decided, you know what? Let's roll the dice
And adding depth is never a bad thing, especially when you're just 4 days away from roster cutdown day. That comes your way Tuesday, the 26th for the Eagles and the rest of the NFL. The Phils were off last night. They'll play the Nationals for 3 games starting tonight at Citizens Bank Park. First pitch is at 6:45. Taijuan Walker faces Cade Cavalli. The Union take on the Chicago Fire tomorrow night. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert.
We've developed a lot as an offense throughout OTA.
Kincade and Salciunas.
Today's talk show, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
9:28 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, thankfully, I can't believe I'm saying thankfully, it was just a hoax, but thankfully what happened yesterday on Villanova's campus was not what was originally feared to have been going on. And I hope they find whoever did it, and I hope that person is behind bars for the rest of their life. Just thought I'd leave it.
I don't even understand what.
No idea?
Well, first off, how does it happen? How does the fake story get that big? And
well, no, there was an alert. They got the campus alert, and people were
who sent out the campus alert?
I think somebody faked that there was something going on, a shooting. And so they sent out the alert because you want to alert the students, especially because it was the welcome
it was welcome
week. Yeah, and they had it was during their first first mass of the
but it wasn't
year.
this was but it was supposedly with the law school, which if you know the law school's down at the end.
I've never been to Villanova Law, believe it or not.
No, it's
but again,
that was terrible.
Fortunately, I can't believe again that I'm saying fortunately it was just a hoax because obviously we don't want it to be the real thing. But I thought whoever did that should be behind bars for the rest of their life.
Correct.
All right, Phillies Nationals 3-game weekend series. Mets Braves 3-game weekend series.
7-game lead.
Yes.
This morning.
And all of that sets up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
Tuesday.
When the Phillies and Mets battle each other. So Phillies have Taijuan Walker getting the start tonight.
Okay.
Aaron Nola.
Yes.
Getting the start in Game 2. Ranger Suarez getting the start in Game 3.
All I want's 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's your Meatloaf song.
All I want is 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And don't sleepwalk through another series with the Nats. This is a dog meat team.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, they split the 4-game series last weekend.
Like you
I don't
did.
want
That was
again.
pathetic.
Yeah.
So don't do it again.
Take 2 of 3.
Take 2 of 3. That would drop the magic number to 27.
Yeah.
Pending what the Mets do down in Atlanta. Mets are losing at least one. By the way, Atlanta, the hottest team in baseball right now.
How about that?
So Atlanta playing really good ball. They'll be in here next weekend. So let's say the Mets lose another 2. You win 2, Mets lose 2. You start Monday's magic number at 25.
Right.
You could honestly put this thing to it's to bed.
You very well could put it to bed, yeah.
I told you the Monday of Labor Day, I made the bold prediction a few weeks ago, that the Monday of Labor Day, when we take a day of rest and get ready for football season, that the division race would be over.
I would love that.
And I believe more firmly now the division race will be over.
I would love that. Mets, by the way, the kid that just got called up, Nolan McLean,
yes,
who had a really, really good debut. He's getting the start tonight for the Mets against the Braves. Clay Holmes for the Mets in Game 2.
Hey, Holmes.
And then David Peterson, who had a really 2 outings ago, was really, really bad. That was when they had the big lead against the Braves, and he costed it. So the reason why I tell you who their starting pitchers are in this series against the Braves, odds are we'll see McLean in the Phillies series, the young
when
kid.
When does he pitch?
So he pitches tonight.
Well, then he'll pitch on
Wednesday.
On Wednesday,
yeah.
He'll pitch the closer of that series.
So we get Senga Game 1 against the Mets. We do not know both teams. The probables are TBD still for Tuesday night's game.
But we miss their best pitcher.
Yeah, David Peterson's not Senga's been their best pitcher. We will see him. David Peterson will not be pitching.
Peterson's been nasty to the Phillies.
Oh, yeah. He absolutely has been.
That's the guy you're in trouble with.
So,
by the way, they're a half game up on the Reds.
For the final
playoffs.
wildcard spot. So not only could you end the NL East, you could knock them out if the season ended, Wednesday. You could knock them out of the wild card.
Good news or bad news.
Right, depending on who you want to face.
Because the Reds are scary as hell.
Huh. They're scary as heck. I don't know if I'd go scary as hell.
I'm not going hell.
That rotation?
Sure.
That pitching rotation in a short series?
It's a team with no postseason experience whatsoever.
What does that have to do with the pitching rotation?
What do you mean? Walk into Citizens Bank Park and you tell me.
Yeah? Okay. I've watched teams walk in there. I watched the Mets come in last year. I watched the Diamondbacks come in the year before that. I mean, I'm not with everything on the line. I watched the Diamondbacks come in and chump them. I don't like. I mean, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't buy it at all.
I don't.
With
totally
everything on the
disagree with
line
you.
for us, everything's set up for the Phillies at home. This place that they can't lose. They lost and wet the bed. Wet the bed.
Yeah, I don't think the Reds are those teams.
I don't know. We don't know that. We
Pitching?
never know. You get hot at the right time. I hear that. I hear that all the time.
By the way, the back end of the National League, whoever gets in at the back, has tended to do really well. They have gone to the World Series, and LCS.
Those are pretty good marks.
Yeah, that's pretty good marks.
Phillies were one of those teams.
Yep, Phillies are one.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have a lot of people checking in still on the Rob Thompson thing from earlier today that we were having the conversation on. Now, maybe it's time to reset this because one texter checked in, and he said, Phillies just win a huge series, and you guys are talking about the manager and complaining about him.
See, this is where you're not listening.
Well, that's why I'm saying reset.
Yeah, and look.
Well, why are you texting if you don't
Yeah, I know. People
we
look,
like if you text. We love it when you text, but you got to know what we're talking about.
It's like, again, we had a caller earlier today that had, once again, no idea that Jose Alvarado is ineligible for the playoffs. So I'll remind you that he's ineligible for the playoffs, which is why I was anti-standing ovation the other day.
Literally been talking about the positives and the negatives.
We had a show about Rob Thompson today, about the things that he is fairly criticized for and the things that he is unfairly criticized for. At least my opinion on what he is fairly and unfairly criticized. Then you guys reacted, and we have talked about it. And our question was, how do you feel with Rob Thompson as the manager? And I feel good with Rob Thompson as the manager. There are a lot of people that feel good. There are people that don't feel good. It's a question. That doesn't mean we're being negative.
No. And by the way, all the positives were talked about, all the negatives were talked about.
Nice.
And there was no lies detected.
I get people can't listen every second.
Yeah, I get you.
I get it. By the way,
what?
All right, I'll just read his @
Okay.
Joe from Fishtown.
Joe from Fishtown.
Should I say his full Twitter name?
No.
If the FCC will allow you.
Yeah, FCC's.
Okay.
Dick Cheney is the biggest POS in U.S. history.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that guy.
What? That is your Twitter.
He doesn't like Dick Cheney.
All right, Reds, to your point, Connor. He said, however, the Reds do have a manager with a lot of postseason experience.
Yeah.
And
that's
success.
Fair. And he just, let's just say, had a really good series against, this Phillies team.
Yeah. So they do have a good manager.
Very recent memory.
All right, what else we got on the text line?
All right, we have another check-in on Topper, and Joe from Boston says our biggest criticisms of Topper, his cool, calm, overly optimistic behavior, is probably what makes him the best fit for this team.
Yeah, we don't know that. I don't know what a hard ass would be like. I don't know what. I don't know.
How about this? Would this team be I think with the different personality, might run the bases better, be a better fundamental team?
Maybe.
Be a team that takes care of the little things and gets them right? Yeah, I think they would.
Maybe. Now, Rob Thompson
No, not maybe. I think they would because a manager would hold them responsible. Would not say don't do stupid stuff over and over because they'd hold them accountable.
Right, but we can't say 100% certainty. That's like one little pinprick of what this team does day in and day out. And Rob Thompson, here, I'll just throw this out here. His winning percentage as a manager, and I know it's only been, 3.5 years or whatever it is top 30 all time in baseball history. Like, he wins. You could say it's the team all you want, but I've seen great teams lose. Like, Rob Thompson gets these guys to win.
Yeah. Look, I think he's a good manager. I do.
Saw a graph on MLB Network about top 4, top 5 payrolls and wins, and how much it correlates.
I'm sure it does
over time.
Yeah.
It correlates.
I'm sure
you got a top 4.
You have more
you manage a team with a top 4 payroll, you're going to win like 90 games every year.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's like, yay, wins. They're great.
Yeah, it's about postseason.
About postseason.
And we'll see. And look, that's why
90 wins with a top 4 payroll is not some let's have a parade.
And to be clear, as much as I like Rob Thompson, I think he is a good manager. If they fall early in the playoffs, he's out.
No, he should be.
And that's coming from a guy who likes him.
Because he's had a lot of bites at the apple.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, we have our text messages, our key three best minutes from today's show on this Fanatic Friday. Football Friday. We're getting closer. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 to Fanatic.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to
We'll be with Ray Dunn today from 10 to 1. Ray, of course, 10 to 2 until Unfiltered. But 10 to 1 with Mr. DeCecco because Andrew's got to make the drive to East Rutherford for Eagles-Jets preseason week number 3. Get excited. Love that. All right, before we get back to our text messages, speaking of Andrew DeCecco, he texted me another song, Automatic Smile song. Take the Money and Run by the Steve Miller Band.
That's a good song.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's always a good one.
DeCecco's music choices are good, though.
Take your money and run.
Not the best song. The Joker's better, but...
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some people call me a space cowboy.
Well, you are. You absolutely are.
Yeah. That song's okay. It's okay.
It's a great song.
No, it's not the same thing.
We've got multiple texts on Tequila.
No, that song, that's like, honestly, it's too Pee Wee Herman.
And it's Pee Wee Herman.
It
got associated with Pee Wee Herman, and then that is when that song exploded. And anyone who tells you differently is lying to you.
And the first person that did it for karaoke, okay, it was funny. Now people try to do it like all the time to go viral.
Do people do the Pee Wee dance?
No, they only just stand there until the tequila part starts, and they think it's hilarious. And then
I don't make monkeys; I just train them.
Buddy's laughing. It's stupid. That was good. That was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna say that was pretty good. I gotta give you credit. That's
kind of like that one.
That's a top that's a top tier one. I gotta give you credit for it. Speaking of Andrew DeCecco,
what am I?
Join the Fanatic, Birds Insider, Andrew DeCecco, and ESPN's Tim McManus for a special Birds Roundtable live broadcast this Saturday, noon to 3 inside Caesar Sportsbook in Atlantic City. Andrew and Tim will break down the Birds training camp as it wraps up, and we'll get all ready for the season opener against the Dallas team. Enjoy all Caesar Sportsbook has to offer: massive LED video screens, private man caves, and a full-service beer yourself wall. Go to the events page, 975thefanatic.com. Random question.
Go beer yourself. What?
See, I shouldn't have complimented
you.
Nope, that's why I didn't say anything.
There you go.
You looked at me. I knew better.
There you go.
When you were in your early years of marriage and being a parent.
Sure. Because that was very close for us. It was
correct.
A year after.
Did you look forward to the nights where you were the single parent?
Never.
I do.
You have a boy.
That could be a part of it. My wife is going to the Phillies game tonight. My wife's going to more Phillies games this year than I have. It's ridiculous.
Really is.
It's unbelievable. And she doesn't care about sports.
Is she on the broadcast team or what?
Yeah, exactly. So she's going to the Phillies game tonight. And so I'm home with Coop. Now, there's a part of the reason you might be right is the father-son aspect of it. For whatever reason, when mommy's around for bedtime, he's a maniac. When daddy is around, maybe because I'm more of the stern parent. Yes, daddy.
Yes.
And he goes to bed.
That's because you set standards.
And instead of 8:45 at night, it's like 8:15.
Oh, wait a minute. So you change the clock on him?
No. We start, the bath and all. We start the routine, but there's not as much tomfoolery.
Okay.
He falls in line a little bit quicker with when it's just daddy.
Well, he should, because mom's going to coddle him.
And so I look forward to the nights when my wife goes out because my me time starts like a half hour earlier. Even though I'm doing all the work, my work ends quicker, if that makes sense. So I look forward. So you never did.
It does. No, I always felt the older Liv got, the better I felt about the alone time. Because I always felt nervous. Like, Coop's 3. My God, 3. I'm still like, worried about her. Worried about her, something getting hurt, whatever. Always like playing with the kid, but it made me nervous.
Nice. I got this.
He got a job yet?
No,
not put that kid to work.
Nervous.
Not yet. He was pulling weeds out yesterday.
Oh, see, nice.
I was mowing the lawn. He pulled out some.
We played
weeds.
Horse Family. Horse Family was always a big hit. She had these big, like hard animals, like plastic, but big ones.
Yeah.
And so we play Horse Family.
Yeah.
And all of them had names.
I'm just always the bad guy, and he's either Spider-Man one day, Iron Man one day, and I'm the bad guy.
She would cook for me.
That's nice.
She had the oven.
We have a kitchen set.
She had the kitchen set.
Yeah,
She'd have the oven. She cooked. I see. I never had one of them in Broomall, so that's probably why.
Did you have toys?
I had toys. Didn't have many toys.
What do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, nothing about toys or horse family, but we have some people still checking in on the Topper thing. So Jason messages and says, I think overall, Rob Thompson has done a good job managing this team. What bothers me as a longtime fan is that sometimes you need to have that feel for the game. Instead of saying, hey, I got to get this guy in for no rhyme or reason. If someone's not playing well or pitching well, make the change. A good manager makes those decisions, and Rob Thompson does not always.
And so that's why I said feel this year. He did have a feel. In 2022, I know the Wheeler one always comes up, the Game 6 against the Astros.
At the biggest time, he didn't have feel.
Literally every decision that he made, Cardinals, Braves, Padres,
was amazing.
It all worked.
No,
regular season too. He had Matty Carshield playing second base. Matt Vierling.
He had amazing string of decisions, and the biggest one that I would insist to you was the easiest one.
Was sticking with your ace.
On your ace at the end of the year when he didn't want to get out of the game, and he doesn't have another game to pitch. The easiest decision he blew.
Now,
the 2-foot putt.
Right. Now, this year, I don't think he's had that feel as much. However, I will then once again bring up, do you want to go to your bullpen earlier? This bullpen. Now, obviously, this version with Duran and Robertson's different, but let's go pre-trade deadline. Did you really want to go to your bullpen earlier?
No,
you never did.
But there were nights, though. There were nights that he made mistakes, but overall is that...
But I understood the mistakes.
Not always. I didn't. I think it was much more of not going that he was pulling the plug early too many times this year, where he pulled the plug on starters, where I didn't understand why he wouldn't let guys pitch more than not.
Well, and then eventually it became he was keeping guys in too long, and we all knew why he was keeping guys in too long.
I'd rather lose that way.
Right.
I'm going to lose.
But there are people that would be upset. Oh my God.
No, I'm not. Not with this bullpen. I wouldn't.
Right.
Because I'd rather lose with the better option every stinking time.
All right, it's time.
He's good.
Time now for the Kincade and Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade and Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
All right, so the Phillies begin a series with the Nationals tonight. And then, of course, they have the big 3-game series next week with the Metropolitans. So there was no game to react to this morning from last night, which is why I want to have a conversation about the manager job. So Rob Thompson has been a hot-button topic this year, more so than any of the previous seasons. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Over a course of an entire season. 2022, it was the honeymoon phase.
No question.
And we didn't know.
He did an amazing job in 2022 of taking over what was a mess.
Right. A wretched situation.
Turning it into something great.
And then 23, obviously the slow start.
But he had a great season in 2023.
Great season in 23. Great season in 24 until the playoffs happened.
I think second half it was not great.
Sure.
Last year that team literally ran out of gas. Mentally, that team sleptwalked through half the season.
Right.
They get out to the big lead, and I think his leadership led to them putting their feet up. I think he took the approach of, I want these guys rested for the postseason. I think they took the foot off the gas last year way too early. And I'm sure some of that was organizational.
And some of it was of the JT surgery. So how do you feel about Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies? And it's just an odd time because this Phillies team, when you just sit back and look, you see that they are 21 games over 500, 74-53. It's been a roller coaster ride of a season. They have taken a step back in each of the playoffs the last couple of years. When that happens and people start worrying about the future, much like I have a lot of times this year, saying that this is the last year of this core, right? Even though you might have to bring back JT, you obviously have to bring back Kyle Schwarber, but there will be new faces next year, and I think a lot of the players that are here this year might be on the way out. I mean, they have tried to trade Nick Castellanos for many years now.
Do you agree with this plan, by the way? This plan that we sort of assume is going to happen? Are you of the belief that if this team goes out in the NLDS, do you want to see a wholesale remodel?
Yeah, I do. Ben Solak, he does interesting different spins on articles, right? And so he did one for watchability. The most, he ranked 32-1 in terms of watchability the 2025 NFL season.
Of teams.
Yeah. Now, there are
big plays.
So big plays is one of them.
The ability to play close games.
Star players and cool stuff. Okay. So the one that I go, well, this shouldn't be on there is close games. Because you can't
year to year.
You can't predict who's going to be in close games. Like, you just can't. All right, that is the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show. Johnny, tell us about life-saving cancer research, please.
Yeah, I'm glad I got it. I do. Davis CPA Group helped out a lot. The American Association for Cancer Research helps out a lot. You can make a donation just like Davis CPA Group did. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives.
Oh, question. We didn't play who will play in the outfield for the Phillies tonight.
Oh, we did?
Oh, we didn't. We haven't done that the last couple games.
Yeah, we did.
We need to get back on
let's
that.
get back into
so
it.
Was it Cade Cavalli tonight for the Nationals? Right-handed pitcher.
Cade Cavalli.
Now, remember, Bader is upset with playing time.
And, by the way, isn't that popular? Been here like 2 freaking weeks. And
I know.
And he's causing problems.
Castellanos took the bullet and was the guy that sat because of the Bader being upset. You can't always turn to Castellanos as the guy that sits.
No.
Could we see a Marsh, Bader, Castellanos tonight?
Yes, we could.
Will we? Or is it the double
Connor?
left Marsh, Kepler? Because Kepler's been swinging a good bat.
Marsh, Kepler, Castellanos.
Marsh, Kepler, Castellanos.
And so Bader's just got to deal with it.
Yes. And I think him talking, you've been here 20 freaking minutes. And I love Bader, like being here, and I'm glad he's here. But the fact when I heard the other day that it was getting out that he's upset and that he's mouthing, come on, dude.
By the way, he did raise his batting average with the Phillies to 200.
That's nice.
But wait a minute, though. The Mariners.
He's not getting the opportunity.
I know,
that
and he's
he was
upset.
supposed
and
to
he's
be
upset
getting.
by it.
My thought was not about him.
But you can't be doing it. Exactly.
My thought was about the team now maybe not communicating twice what the actual rotation is because they don't know and it's ticking people off in the locker room.
And again, it's one of those things where people say, Rob, and I give him credit for being a good manager of the locker room and everything. This year, things seem to be disintegrating a bit. And they're definitely disintegrated with Castellanos.
And it could be exhaustion.
Of just the same message, substitute teacher-ish. And I can tell you this, the whole thing with Bryce Harper and the commissioner did not go over well with all of the players in the locker room.
I figured that.
Some players in the locker room weren't exactly like, you get him, Bryce! Yeah! No, there were a lot of players that might have had a different opinion.
Bryce can smack the commissioner in the face if they hit 20 hits
like
every night.
They actually would like to hear what a man has to say, like a grown man would.
Getting 20 hits is not money in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
That is.
No, that's not what. That's not what they're upset about.
That's
all
not
right, Ray Dunn with Andrew DeCecco for 3 of the 4 hours. They come your way next. Everybody have a great weekend. We're gonna head to Temple. Johnny and I
will be down there
on
1 to
Temple's
3
campus.
today. We'll be right there on Leocoris Walk, right there at Maxie's, and it's Temple Fest. It's
Temple
awesome.
Fest.
Come on down. We're going to see Casey Keeler today, too.
Hell yeah, we will. So we can't wait. Everybody have a great rest of your
I'll
day.
I'll see you after Labor Day, both of you guys.
Yeah, John's taking his 17th
time.
vacation. You enjoy yourself. I'm happy for you.
Everybody
have a great rest of your day. Talk to you Monday.